Good morning, Copers. Good morning, everybody. How are you guys doing? It is Monday, March 16th, 2026. It's my last week, and then I'm retiring. No, it's my last week till I take a week off. How are you guys doing? We're doing Irish week, Irish music all week in recognition of St. Patrick's Day, and a lot of stuff to talk about. I have a big segment I'm working on about Bronze Age pervert and Rupert Lowe and him counter signaling Rupert Lowe, but I had to bump that till tomorrow because there's just a whole bunch of stuff to talk about today. And we are going to be going over the Gypsy Crusader fight quite a lot. Again, might be a bit much for some of you if you already watched my Saturday stream, as well as YCSP had a bunch of the clips, but I need to get it all. I need to do it one last time so I can make the final video for the Hypocrite YouTube channel. So we will be reminiscing and doing a one final victory lap for Gypsy Crusader today. Yeah, I will tell you how Jewish Bap is, but that'll be tomorrow. Man, and I streamed the fight, and wow, I'm so glad I did that. I was kind of like, it was kind of like a decided that day, hey, I should just stream the fight too, or whatever. Like I wasn't sure if I was going to do it. And then by the time 5 o'clock rolled around, my caffeine had all worn off, and I knew it was going to be like multiple hours until Gypsy fought. And I was like, I don't know if I want to even do this. Yeah, you guys are going to have to, you're on your own. You're on your own recognizance. I don't know. Watch the quartering. Maybe you could watch the quartering. I don't know. What do you guys do when there's no cope? What do you guys, I don't know. It's not a lot of options out there, is there? You could who you could watch? You know who's good is Kevin Deanna, Identity Politics. Check out his show on Rumble. He's got a good show. Good. I think he goes just about every day, I think. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so anyway, so I was like, whatever, I'll do the show. Didn't take any more caffeine, but got super wired anyways. Couldn't fall asleep at that night. It was like, we got up to like almost 3,000 people watching at the peak. Actually, I think it was 3,000 people if you counted all the sites. Really exciting for me to have a big impromptu stream like that. Yeah, just exhilarating, just fun time. Good time had. I made like $1,200 in super chats. Gypsy did a stream on Crusaders last night, and I sent him $100 super chat. You got to do 10% for the big guy. But then he was like, I sent him the super chat, and he was like, IPorg, I don't know who that is, but thanks. I was like, fuck. He's like trying to read my name. He's like, hey, thanks, iPorridge. I don't know. I can't read that, but thank you. I was like, dude, come on. You don't recognize the avatar? He's like an inspiration to me, Gypsy. I just want you to say my name. Oh, God, that hurt, Gypsy. Oh, God. Like that Cuffham stream. He was like a real inspiration for me. I just want you to say my name. Oh, yeah. Anyway. All right. Let's get into the news here, starting with Hayden McDougal, a.k.a. Angry Patriot, a.k.a. Woman Propaganda, banned on Instagram, where he had 1.3 million followers. Been trying to get this guy on the progress report, and he sort of stopped responding to me. Although he was saying he wanted to do it, but we had some scheduling conflicts and this and that, and then he kind of, I don't know. So I backed off for a while because maybe I was annoying him, but hopefully we'll get him on the show at some point because he's really funny. But man, that sucks. 1.3 million followers. If you go to if you search for him on Google, comes up with the Instagram page. I saw this morning. I was like, oh, maybe you got it back. And then I clicked on it. Womp womp. That's gotta suck hard.
Guest ideas for TPS. Bearing and Sugar TTS. Vrillium. Synthetic Man. J. Burden. Can't watch live, but I'll catch the replay. You the man LP. God bless.
Let me write. Where's my TPR guest list? What's it? Yeah, okay. Let's see. Bearing and Sugar Tits. We had Bearing on in season 1. We had him. It was actually a really fun show. We had Bearing and Dick Masterson and Dame Pesos all together, and that was actually like really fun. Dame Pesos doesn't follow me anymore. Apparently he like trooned out or something. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But apparently he like trooned out. Synthetic Man, I like didn't answer the email I sent him. Jay Burden, I'm kind of like vaguely aware of who that is. I've never watched any of his stuff or anything though. And Rillium, I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe, man, we'll see. We'll stand back and stand by and see how it goes with that guy. When people like veer hard from one, like they go from like being a hardcore leftist to all of a sudden being like a base right winger, there is something suspect about it. I'm not saying he's like faking a grifter or whatever. I'm just saying like there's like the personality type of people who do that. It's like kind of unstable, and you got to be careful. You got to be careful associating with people who are potentially like very zero platforming. What is it? Oh yeah. The I forgot about the coal burning post or whatever you call it. What do you call it when it is coal burning, right? That's what do you call it? What do you call it when a guy does it? It's coal burning, right?
Thank you for representing the racist everyman.
Hey, thank you. End usery 87. Thank you for the $20 on Entropy. I try. I do what I can. Man, that was a fun stream on Saturday. Hey guys, that was fun. It was kind of awkward when I brought Nerd City on because he was just in the chat. I was like, oh, I could bring on some other people and we could have like a panel. Like that sounds fun, right? But it's like the energy came way down and the chat was all annoyed that I wasn't reading them anymore because I was talking and I was like, hey man, I think it'd be okay if you like left. It was kind of awkward. You do what you gotta do.
TPR also, am I grandfathered in as a general lord? Do I still owe $100?
Well, it's 95 now, so it's 95 more.
Montbren sent $5. Your previous TPR guest, Savannah Herrera, is one of Sarah Stock's Eskimo sisters.
It's Hernandez? Is it Hernandez? Now I'm confused. It's definitely not Hernandez, right? Savannah. I know she worked for Elijah. Yeah, Hernandez. But that's pure speculation. I don't know about all that. I know what Elijah said something about an abortion. Look, man, I don't know. This is kind of seedy. Here's the thing. I like Savannah. Savannah's always been nice to me. Savannah tried to help me when I was hacked out of my Twitter account. Because she's somebody, I have her in my phone. So I was like texting her like, hey, can you message this Nikita guy? And she did that. She messaged him on my behalf. So it's like, I'm not gonna shit talk Savannah or anything. Is King Jewish a general? No, he's a squire. He's actually capped at squire. Anyway. Yes. Okay. People really mad at woman propaganda about the race mixing thing. And perhaps rightfully so. I don't know. I said this at the time, but I don't know why you got to tweet it out. I don't know. I don't know. Like I don't know how much of it was a joke or to troll or try to be funny or what. But if you're gonna, if you got to be a degen, can't you just like keep it to yourself?
Montbren sent $5. Wrong asterisk name. My bad.
Thank you. Yes, that was the wrong wetback. Dude, I hate how I can't say slurs just to be funny. I just want to be funny, guys. YouTube, it's just jokes. Can I just lean into it once in a while? Okay. Something happened over the weekend I've noticed, which is there's been a sudden resurgence of QAnon conspiracy tweeting happening, and particularly around three things. Number one, a lot of people all of a sudden talking again about how Israel killed Charlie Kirk, including Brett Weinstein. So Brett Weinstein was talking about, isn't it kind of weird how as soon as Charlie Kirk died, the first thing Netanyahu did was come out and say that he didn't kill Charlie Kirk. It's kind of weird, isn't it? Which obviously that is weird. But so all you got a bunch of people talking about how Israel killed Charlie Kirk. It's actually four things, because I forgot about Netanyahu is dead was another big conspiracy theory over the weekend. Netanyahu died and they're trying to cover it up and they're posting AI videos. Donald Trump there was no actual assassination attempt on Donald Trump. That was a staged event. Many people have been saying over the weekend. It's just kind of weird to me. This all came out of no. I'm not saying it's like a psyop, like a CIA thing. I'm just saying, I don't know, full moon or something. Everybody decided to start bringing back these kind of things that are just sort of schizo a little bit. And Erica Kirk sex trafficked a bunch of people. Erica Kirk is like a professional Epstein-style sex trafficker. So we're going to look at some of this stuff. Here you have Neil Oliver, who I don't even really know who this guy is, full disclosure. I've seen him prop up here and there. I think he's like a kind of a big UK, like YouTuber guy who does like little political rants and stuff. And he's like well respected in the UK. But so here he is talking about how Trump's, this is his YouTube. I think so. I just want to I think he's got like a pretty big channel, if I'm not mistaken. 340,000 subs. And he is saying how the Trump assassination was staged. As an example of the ongoing process, the necessity to speak up, speak out, regardless of consequences, I will say I don't believe that that was an assassination attempt on the life of Donald J. Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania on July 13th, 2024. There, I've said it out loud. I don't know what actually happened beyond all doubt, but I'm much more inclined to see what we were shown and told as a choreographed stunt that was designed to, and absolutely did, make Donald Trump, then campaigning for a second term as President of the United States of America, look heroic in the face of mortal danger. Fight, fight, fight. Through gritted teeth as the blood ran red down his face. Too good to be true? Yeah, maybe. Because I can't be sure.
I am convinced about Netanyahu.
Yeah, well, the proof is that he didn't spill his coffee. So don't worry, we will be doing forensic analysis on the coffee video. We'll be counting the number of fingers. I personally counted 5. It's so weird, dude. People were like posting this thing and that's what I don't have pulled up, unfortunately, but I kind of wish I did, but I wasn't sure how to find it. But actually, now that I think about it, I think maybe Stu Peters had posted it. And how do you spell his name? It is Stu, like the food. Okay. I don't know if he said fingers in the tweet. The problem with people like this is they tweet a lot. And so if you're just trying to scroll and find something, Where's Netanyahu? This was good. This conspiracy theory or whatever, this speculation about him being dead, this was like all over Twitter. The fingers, though. It started with, okay, so it started with this video, which we are going to watch too. Okay, here we go.
Tigger_Nussy sent $5 on Rumble. Out of all the conspiracy theories you just named, which one would you be least surprised by if you learned it was true?
Israel killed Charlie Kirk. I'd say that would be the least surprising one. Netanyahu dead would be like the second least. Trump staged his... Erica Kirk being literally Satan is like the most far-fetched thing to me. And I just think people are totally insane on that one. But I'm not convinced about any of this stuff. So people are like, he's got 6 fingers. What is it? And I'm like, okay, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm just like, I don't know what's going on, man. Is it I know people on the internet are stupid, but are they like, I can't count? The pro-pally morons are so used to people having 6 fingers, they find it suspicious that he has 5. Is there anybody who actually sees 6 fingers in this photo, or they just think the hand looks weird? I swear I saw people. Is it just me, or is there... No, 5. Okay. Anyway, I don't know, man. I don't know. Does his hand look weird? Not particularly. It does look kind of like a squid-like octopus thing. But I think that's just how Jew hands look, you know? They're kind of like, they're just kind of tentacly. Anyway, I kind of jumping ahead there, but I wanted to look at the finger thing.
But when I look at what we were told, nah, I ain't buying it. Even the man himself showed very little interest in investigating who was behind it all. It was just swept away, like, don't matter. Podcaster Joe Rogan described the event I'm talking about as, quote, the most American effing thing he ever saw in his life.
Yeah, Zuckerberg said it was like the most badass thing he'd ever seen too, or something like that.
Yeah, that is certainly how it looked.
But it kind of was.
The effect it was meant to have. But I say again, nah.
So I understand it was sort of perfect in a way for Trump. If to believe it was staged, first of all, you have to believe they murdered that other guy, Corey Contemporary or whatever his name was, the firefighter. You have to believe that they just like killed. Well, I'm sorry, I forgot. You people are crazy. You don't have to believe anything. You people are going to believe whatever you want, body doubles and holograms, and I don't know what I'm talking about, but that guy died and the shooter also died. So there's literally 2 dead people from this event. One of the reasons people are saying that they're convinced that it's fake is because Trump doesn't bring it up all the time. Which is just, again, it's just one of these like sort of convenient, like any argument that I think sounds good, I'm going to say it. If they faked the assassination attempt to give Trump credibility, wouldn't he bring it up all the time? Anytime he was getting criticized or anything, right? Like, hey, Trump, why are you declaring war on Iran? Wouldn't he just be like, I have the mandate of God, of heaven as proven by surviving. I just do what I don't know. Like you could make that argument in either direction is what I'm saying. If he brought it up all the time, they would say that proves that it's fake. But he doesn't bring it up all the time, so they're saying that that proves that it's fake. Now, this is a 15-minute video, but I thought if we're going to do schizo stuff, let's get into it. Trump is a willing bondservant of Chabad Lubavitch. And this I think he goes into the assassination being fake in this video. This is like got 500,000 views, posted a couple days ago on X. I'm not familiar with this guy. He's like, what is he? The Patriot Voice. Okay, let's hear him out.
The war in Iran has many people wondering, do they own Trump? The answer to this question is yes. Trump is literally owned by them and bears the mark of his master on his ear to prove it.
Said, take a look at what happened.
Now, you might think I'm crazy or anti-Semitic for saying this, but given everything that is happening in the world, I think there are less crazier ideas. And if you give me just a few minutes of your time, I think this will make sense to you. Now, before I continue, you need to know that it doesn't matter if you believe in religion or mysticism or eschatology, because other people do, and they have power, and they are using this power to act on their beliefs, regardless of whether or not you share them. Everyone knows that the Jews believe in the coming
Soul
of their
Divider
Messiah.
sent
But what many
$3. Does it really matter that Israel KLLD Kirk? What is MAGA going to do? They already defended Epstein. The whole Republican Party is humiliation of America at this point.
Yeah, I mean you are tapping into something very true there. And I kind of said this at, you know, when the assassination of Kirk first happened and people were really going off about Israel, and it's like, you know, I think the reason people want it to be true so badly is because they actually believe that if they could demonstrate that it was true, that would like flip a switch or whatever. And if you're somebody who's been JQ pilled for a long time, you're way less confident that there's any that it will ever work that way. You know what I mean? That there's ever going to be like some grand awakening where everybody's like, oh my God, it's the Jews. It's always been the Jews. Like, I don't know, man. Look, because I said this at the time, again, not to like beat a dead horse, but you have all this stuff like 9/11, JFK. You have all this stuff that is there where there's so much evidence, so much more compelling evidence than with Kirk. With Kirk, you just mainly have like motive and key bono or whatever that's right. Who benefited from Charlie Kirk dying? The Jews. And they had a motive, but there's no like compelling evidence that they did it. There's just like schizoid video analysis where they say the bullet couldn't do this or whatever. You know what I mean? There's no actual, even like circumstantial evidence compared to, at least relatively speaking, if you look at 9/11, if you look at the JFK assassination, you know, and other things, all these other false flags, right? There is these other things. There is a lot of compelling circumstantial evidence, and yet no grand awakening. No, right? The Jews killed John F. Kennedy, but I sleep. America sleeps kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
People don't know is that the Jews believe the Messiah is alive in every generation as his soul transmigrates upon death from one body to another. Therefore, the Jews aren't waiting for the Messiah to come because the Messiah is already here. They are waiting for the Messiah to reveal himself, and he can only do that in a messianic age. So in order
Yeah, Oswald did pull the trigger. Maybe there was a second gunman. That's like a popular theory, but it doesn't matter. Oswald was a shooter, just like Tyler Robinson was a shooter. And then Jack Rubenstein killed Oswald so that he could never talk about whatever he knew that led up to the shooting.
For the Messiah to come, the world must be in a messianic age. So think of
He converted to Judaism in 2020. Who did? Trump?
the Messiah as a flower and the Messianic age as a pot. The two go hand in hand. Now, a long-standing debate in Judaism is whether or not Jews should passively wait for the Messiah and the Messianic age or actively attempt to trigger it. Should Jews be patient and righteous and focus on obeying God's laws as they wait for redemption and salvation from exile? Or should they act upon the world and trigger the Messianic age, acting as tools for God's will and thereby redeeming themselves? Well, there have been all sorts of movements in Jewish history from those actively attempting to trigger the Messianic age. The most infamous cases are Sabbatai Zevi and Jacob Frank, both of whom were inspired by Lurianic Kabbalah, claimed to be the Messiah themselves, and encouraged their followers to act in ways that triggered the Messianic age. Remember this because it will be important later on. Now, you might remember that Trump launched this war with Iran on behalf of Israel on the eve of Purim, the Jewish holiday commemorating the Jewish victory in Persia. At the time, Persia was led by King Xerxes. Xerxes ruled over a massive empire that stretched from India to Ethiopia. He had many advisors. One of them was a Jewish man named Mordecai, but his top advisor was a Persian named Haman. Haman and Mordecai had a rivalry. After a series of insults, Haman attempted to convince King Xerxes to not only kill Mordecai, but to eliminate the Jewish presence in Persia. But after his wife, Queen Esther, revealed herself to be Jewish and a series of other events, King Xerxes decided instead to execute Haman. While Jews didn't conquer Persia in battle, they survived exile and execution. The king had a Jewish wife, and Mordecai remained his advisor.
We, the Jewish people, are commanded to destroy the enemies of our people in
Every single time.
all times, in all places, as happened, as described in detail in Megillat Esther, in the book of Esther, where we find that 75,811 of our enemies were destroyed, including women and children. Why did this take place? Why were so many people killed? Why
are people debating about the qui bono thing? Is it because I said qui bono instead of qui bono or something? Did I say it wrong?
women and children killed? But the answer is very simple, straightforward. Perhaps it is not politically correct in the eyes of some, but it is the true, authentic, and absolutely essential message of Purim, and it is the central truth of it is rather commemorating and remembering a past event in order that we know how to behave today in the present and in the future. Amalek still exists. We read every year before Purim, we read Parashat Zachor, where we are commanded by Hashem to remember that which Amalek did to us and to destroy them.
So the Jews celebrate this day as a sort of victory over Persian civilization. For this reason, many found the connection between Trump's Iran war and Purim to be much more than a mere coincidence. In fact, a CNN article made this connection as well, confirming its significance. But
that kind of tracks with what Rubio said too, of like the Jews were just going to do it. So, Israel, we had to do it because Israel's going to do it. And Israel wanted to do it to line it up with the timing of Purim. But like that all makes sense.
the connection to the Iran war is actually much deeper and darker than just Purim. You see, King Xerxes was the grandson of the greatest Persian leader to ever live, Cyrus the Great. Cyrus is best known for conquering Babylonia and birthing a new Persian civilization known as the Achaemenid Empire that would stretch from the Balkans to India to Ethiopia. But Cyrus means just as much to the Jews as he does to the Persian people. During the time of Cyrus, the Jews were exiled in Babylonia. The Jews ended up in Babylonia because they were a client state of the Babylonian Empire. After a series of rebellions, however, the Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar conquered Jerusalem and destroyed Solomon's temple, otherwise known as the First Temple. And in accordance with Babylonian custom, Nebuchadnezzar deported the Jews to Babylon in order to prevent another uprising. In Babylon, the Jews, like other exiled peoples, were allowed to practice their faith, but were not allowed to return to their lands. But the Jews had hope that they would one day be liberated. God revealed to the prophet Isaiah the coming of Cyrus some 80 years before he was born, specifying his name and how God would use him. The prophet disclosed in chapter 45 what the Lord would do for Cyrus, his anointed Messiah. He would make him a subduer of nations, give him riches, and bestow upon him a title of honor, even though Cyrus would not acknowledge him. In addition, God would use him to conquer Babylon, where the Jews were being held in captivity. The Lord's chosen ally will carry out his purpose against Babylon. His arm will be against the Babylonians. I, even I, have spoken. Yes, I have called him. I will bring him, and he will succeed in his mission. Cyrus conquered the mighty Neo-Babylonian Empire in 539 BC. God further revealed to Isaiah that Cyrus would release the Jewish captives and rebuild Jerusalem and the temple. I will raise up Cyrus in my righteousness. I will make all his ways straight. He will rebuild my city and set my exiles free. I am the Lord, who says of Cyrus, he is my shepherd, and will accomplish all that I please. He will say of Jerusalem, let it be rebuilt, and of the temple, let its foundations be laid. Well, that's exactly what Cyrus would end up doing. He subdued nations, including Babylon, obtained riches, earned the title Cyrus the Great, and crucially allowed the Jews to return to their land in Jerusalem and build the second temple, all without acknowledging or converting to Judaism himself. Therefore, Cyrus was a non-Jewish Messiah in Jewish history. So the Iran War isn't just about Jews surviving a plot to destroy them in Persia. It's about a great non-Jewish king defeating their enemies and allowing the Jews to return to Jerusalem and rebuild the temple. As believers in prophecy, mysticism, and the significance of numerology and dates on the calendar, the Jews today believe they are repeating history through their servant, Donald Trump. You see, in the Epstein files, there was a confidential human source that told investigators that Trump was owned and controlled by the Jewish movement, Chabad Lubavitch.
Hold on. Pause. Advise Shabbat is doing everything they can to co-opt the Trump presidency. Shabbat is basically state-sanctioned Judaism. It is used by Putin to keep tabs on all the Russo-Jewish oligarchs. On the day Trump was elected president, Ivanka Trump and Jared were at the grave site of Rabbi Shearson, who was the most powerful rabbi on the Shabbat network. Jared didn't disclose his stake in Cadre because of its ties to the Russian state. CHF believed this is the real Russian collusion story. Kushner has moved a lot of Russian investment money around. The FBI should investigate Kushner's family charities to find evidence of corruption and money laundering. Chabad routinely uses charities to launder money.
Movement, Chabad Lubavitch. Chabad is the spiritual evolution of Lurianic Kabbalah, the Jewish mysticism that inspired Sabbatai Zevi and Jacob Frank to declare themselves messiahs and take action to trigger the Messianic age.
Yeah, Kushner's dad was a criminal. Trump pardoned him. In case you missed that in YCSP last night. Maybe I can pull that clip up real quick. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I can find it on my X easier because I remember the caption. Rabbis.
The biggest reason Jared got into the Trump White House was to ensure that his father would be pardoned.
But people who don't know, who's his father?
His father was, when I prosecuted him in 2004, the second richest man in New Jersey. He hired a prostitute to seduce his sister's husband, videotaped it, and then on the day of his sister's son's engagement party, an engagement party that he was going to attend, he had the videotape delivered to his sister's house so she could see her husband having sex with someone else.
You are that.
Now that's what I call Jewish. Well, they were like real estate guys, right? Jared Kushner, father. Charles Kushner is a prominent American real estate developer, investor, and diplomat. And there was those other two Jewish real estate guys in New Jersey who just got done for sex trafficking, right? Or Israeli real estate brothers, sex trafficking. The Alexander brothers. rose to prominence from their sales of luxury real estate properties in New York and Miami. Two hubs of Jewishness. And then you got Kushner's father working in New Jersey. So these guys probably knew Kushner and his dad. I think that's like, you could assume that without even looking it up.
Ahead of the transition in 2016, there's going to be some interfacing with Jared Kushner, I'd imagine, right?
Much to his chagrin, yes. Yeah. The day that Trump was naming me, he went into Trump's office and said, "You can't do this," in front of me.
In front of you?
Oh, yeah.
And what was the argument?
I'm immoral, I'm a bad person, and said that it should have never been prosecuted. It wasn't a crime. It was something that should have been handled by the rabbis because it was a family dispute.
Oh.
And I just sat there and didn't say anything. And finally, Trump looked at me and said, "Are you going to say anything to defend yourself?" I said, "I want to."
Well, hired a prostitute to seduce you. That's got to be some kind of sex trafficking type of charge, surely. If I pay a prostitute to try to seduce you so I can like fuck up your marriage, that's got to be an actual crime of some kind, surely.
Defend myself to him. And by the way, I looked at him and said, "By the way, your father pled guilty to all 18 counts." So
there's some credit to Trump in this, that he said, "All right, fine."
Yeah, he named me anyway. But then, of course, he fired me because Jared just continued to pound me.
But that was Jared, you think, that precipitated that firing?
Oh, I know it was Jared.
Okay.
Because both Donald Trump and Steve Bannon told me it was.
Okay.
Montbrand sent $5. Ayn Rand made her husband mediate conflicts with her boyfriend. Most Jewish thing I've ever seen.
What? So, you know what? I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole right now, but what, Ayn Rand was like polyamorous, or she was just cheating?
The most influential Jewish figure of the last century.
Yeah, I'll mediate. You know what I'm saying? Mediate with my Glock. You want my wife's boyfriend? I'll mediate. I'll mediate with your boyfriend. I'll arbitrate between your boyfriend and my gun.
Rabbi Schneerson was the leader of the Shabbat movement who infamously told Benjamin Netanyahu that he wasn't doing enough to bring about the Messiah. In fact, a core tenet of Shabbat is the preparation of the world for the Messianic age. And in Judaism, there's actually
These are the guys who were digging the tunnels under New York, by the way, the Shabbat people. For anybody who missed that, these are the same people who were caught illegally digging tunnels under New York City and crawling around like rats with stained mattresses. I'm curious about the whole redemption through sin thing. Hold on, because he showed that, but he didn't really explain it. Hey Grok, is there a concept in the Chubad Ludovich sect of Judaism that deals with redemption through sin?
No, that's not quite right. Chabad Lubavitch doesn't teach redemption through sin. They're actually super strict about mitzvot, commandments, and see sin as something to avoid, not exploit. What you might be thinking of is a twisted misreading of their Hasidic idea that even fallen souls can be redeemed, or how they emphasize outreach to Jews who've drifted. Like, every Jew has a spark, no matter how far gone.
All right, okay. Okay, I don't need the kosher explanation. Thank you. No kosher explanations, please, and thank you.
Concept of two messianic figures, not just one. The two figures are usually called Messiah ben Joseph and Messiah ben David. Messiah ben Joseph is considered to be the forerunner. He is described as a preparatory or suffering Messiah. He comes first before the final redemption. He leads Israel in wars against Israel's enemies.
Isn't Messiah ben Yosef, isn't that like what Jesus' name was supposed to be? That's what I learned that from the Nature of the Threat by Ross Goss. Everything I know about history and religion, I know from listening to The Nature of the Threat by... Because Christ was not his name. That's Greek for one who is anointed. Yeshua ben Yosef was his name. Do Christians know this? I can't copy this. Jesus' real name. Is that what he was saying? So I have to back this up a little notch because I was kind of zoned out on the Ayn Rand thing.
Mysticism that inspired Sabbatai Zevi and Jacob Frank to declare themselves messiahs and take action to trigger the Messianic age. The most influential Jewish figure of the last century, Rabbi Schneerson, was the leader of the Shabbat movement who infamously told Benjamin Netanyahu that he wasn't doing enough to bring about the Messiah. In fact, a core tenet of Shabbat is the preparation of the world for the Messianic age. And in Judaism, there's actually a concept of two Messianic figures, not just one. The two figures are usually called Messiah ben Joseph and Messiah ben David. Messiah ben Joseph is considered to be the forerunner. He is described as a preparatory or suffering Messiah. He comes first before the final redemption. He leads Israel in wars against Israel's enemies. His role is essentially to prepare the way for the final Messianic era. Messiah ben David is the main Messiah expected in Jewish theology. He descends from King David, restores the Davidic monarchy, rebuilds or establishes the temple in Jerusalem, and rules during the Messianic age. This is the Messiah most Jews refer to when they simply say the Messiah. Shabbat has long believed that Donald Trump is the forerunner to the Messiah ben David. So Shabbat has long invested in Donald Trump. Their followers have overwhelmingly voted for him. Their billionaire followers funded his political rise with hundreds of millions of dollars. And their devout follower, Jared Kushner, who Dershowitz claimed was also a Mossad agent in the Epstein files, according to the same confidential human source, married into Trump's family and is considered to be the one actually running the White House. And several figures around Donald Trump, like billionaire Howard Lutnick, is also considered to be a devout Shabbat follower. So Shabbat has worked to mold Trump over the years into the servant that he is now. But before Trump could carry out his task as the forerunner, Shabbat needed him to publicly declare his servitude for them and their cause. This is because of old Judaic laws defining the relationship between a Hebrew master and his servant. Pursuant to a Judaic ritual mentioned in the Old Testament in Exodus 21:6, quote, "Then his master must take him before the judges. He shall take him to the door or the doorstep and pierce his ear with an awl."
Oh my God. What is an awl? Take him before the judges and pierce his ear with an awl. A sharp, pointed tool for making holes. Could be a bullet. Loosely, a bullet could fit into that definition.
Then he will be his servant for life. In this event, the awl was used in a public legal ceremony to formalize the lifelong bond. The master brought the servant before the judges to ensure the decision was voluntary and not coerced.
This is a little bit schizo, not gonna lie. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Piercing the servant's
People love this shit though, don't they?
ear through the doorstep of the master's house with an awl in a mark of permanence, the servant became a bond servant or slave permanently. The pierced ear symbolized a commitment to always listen and obey the master's voice, and the doorpost signified that they were now a permanent part of that specific home. So for Trump to continue his loyal service to the Shabbat movement, which helped bring him to power, he would have to publicly declare his slavery to his Jewish masters by taking a piercing publicly to his ear. Now, it would be a little too obvious and frankly weird as hell for you to witness a rabbi publicly poking a hole in Trump's ear. So how could this public display of loyalty be achieved for all the world to see without raising any unusual suspicion? Well, on July 13th, 2024, while speaking at a public rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, Trump was supposedly shot in the ear by a would-be assassin.
So what is the theory about what really happened here? That well, let's hear if he has one.
A photographer captured this moment of Trump rising defiantly before all the world with a bloodied ear. This assassination attempt, however, was actually Trump's global initiation as Shabbat's loyal bondservant, the Messiah ben Joseph, otherwise...
Well, that's what I was like. Obviously, the theory cannot be that they intentionally grazed his ear with a bullet. So what is the theory? Was it a little exploding... there was a tiny little explosive planted on his ear.
Munt Brent sent $3. Dein Rand's affair partner. Also, a Jay got a new girlfriend while still married, and Ein Rand freaked out about it.
Fair partner. That's what. So what? Her husband. So she goes to her husband. He doesn't. She's like, I've been cheating on you. And the guy has a new girlfriend, and I need you to go tell him to dump the girlfriend. That's what happened? Bro. This is good to know. It's good to... I really don't give it... You know, people love to bring up these philosophers. I have one book of philosophy I listen to. It's called the Bible. People want to be like, yeah, but Nietzsche, you know. Oh, Nietzsche, the guy who died childless of syphilis. Is that who I should... That's who I should learn how to live my life from? Oh, Ayn Rand, the cheating whore. I think I'll stick with the Bible.
Known as the forerunner. Trump, like Cyrus the Great before him, would be the non-Jewish Messiah.
Well, that's different. That's different because he didn't have syphilis, as far as I know.
Messiah, obtaining riches, subduing nations, and pursuing titles of greatness.
Okay, so think about this, you guys, for a sec. Think about this. You're Donald Trump. You're a billionaire. And then the Jews are like, listen, man, we're going to attach a tiny little explosive device to your ear as part of your initiation for your total servitude to us. And Donald Trump's like, yeah, that sounds good. Try not to blow my head off. Oh no, don't worry. It's a very little, just a little bit of bleeding. We're just going to take a little chunk out of your ear, which will symbolize your permanent servitude to us. And he's like, yeah, all right.
Who will conquer the enemies of the Jews so that they can destroy Al-Aqsa Mosque and rebuild the temple. And if you remember, in Trump's first term, he broke with tradition and moved the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem, recognizing it as the capital of Israel. He assassinated Qasem Soleimani during his first term, and he was the one who greenlit the Pentagon's active planning phase for this war we are currently watching years before it officially kicked off. Now, if you think I'm crazy, maybe you'll believe the Shabbat rabbi, Iser Weisberg.
The current non-Jewish Messiah was chosen to be of service to the Jewish people and the Jewish Messiah. President Trump's right ear was grazed in a symbolic gesture of Exodus 21:6, where the Torah states that a servant who wants to remain with his master needs to have his right ear pierced. Trump was designated as God's servant and anointed one.
Yeah, he's saying, he's not saying the Jews set that up. He's saying that God did that by having the bullet graze his ear, because that's what he believes. Which is no different than all the Christians saying, like, God saved Trump, you know? Well, no different in the sense of it's what they believe.
Just like Cyrus the Great almost 2,400 years ago. We have clarified in several videos that the absolute deadline for the redemption is by the end of the Jewish year 5787, which corresponds to October 2nd, 2027. Thus, the redemption will surely occur during Donald Trump's tenure. And I have good reason to believe Donald Trump was chosen to be the one to redeem the sins.
This is just Jewish schizo shit. This is the Jewish version of schizoid conspiracy stuff. But I'm not saying they don't believe it. It's in the same way people believe, you know, Charlie Kirk is still alive and he's a hologram or whatever. That Netanyahu's a hologram. I don't know, man. I'm just a simple guy. I'm just a very Occam's razor kind of guy. So I'm not really sold on all this.
Montbrand sent $3, yes, basically. Her husband was a good-looking guy of Irish stock, and his wife cheated on him for years with another J.
Okay, so if a mud shark is a woman who sleeps with a black guy, what do you call a woman who cheats on you with a Jew? Worth upwards of 30 mil?
We are currently
let me
watching
grab his name
years
real
before it
quick.
officially kicked off. Now, if you think I'm crazy, maybe you'll believe the Shabbat rabbi, Isser Weisberg.
Shabbat Rab... What the fuck? Shabbat Rabbi Isser Weisberg? Oh, these fucking names. Isser Weisberg. Net worth? Net Roth. No data available. You know, we certainly live in interesting times. People like to say, like, I'd rather live in interesting times than
GDM sent $6.
or whatever.
I'm fetching all over my gefilte fish matzo ball soup hearing all these Yiddish names over and over. Oy vey. Great fight night macking. No shlomo. Aiden wants Raja to fight Gypsy now. Typical Judaism. Jewmonger sent $3. Charlie Kirk. Netanyahu and Epstein are in the SpaceX Tesla moon base on the moon smoking space suite with Yakud. Source? Bro, don't you use Twitter?
So true. Twitter, the #1 source for news. If you want to hear everybody declaring Netanyahu is dead based off of the fact that they think his fingers look weird in a video. People like to say, you know, I'd rather live in interesting times than dull or whatever. It's such a cope. It's such a cope for like life is totally fucked. So I'm just going to call it interesting. But it is interesting. Oh, God, I lost my place.
During Donald Trump's tenure, and I have good reason to believe Donald Trump was chosen to be the one to redeem the sins of Esav through offering his assistance in rebuilding the Holy Temple on the Temple Mount and establishing the Jewish kingdom over all of mankind in Jerusalem. Perhaps it is no accident that the numeric value of Donald Trump in Hebrew is the same as Messiah, son of David.
Brent sent $3. Jew and before GTA 6.
Yeah. Wait. Messiah ben David. That's supposed to be the Jewish Messiah, though.
Trump in Hebrew is the same as Messiah, son of David, Mashiach ben David, 424. However, Donald Trump is mistaken if he thinks he was chosen to make America great again. But America will never become a great country on its own, because Esav's days are numbered. All our elite institutions and centers of power and influence are rotten through and through. The majority of Americans...
ASOS.
America great again.
Just caught up. Kirk's death has inconsistencies. The official narrative has yet to establish how he got beyond the roof, much less things further downstream. The fallacious debunking is suspicious.
I guess we'll see what happens in the trial, but I don't, you know, this. When people say an 8.7 or whatever can't pierce steel built, you know, whatever. What's the thing they say? They say an 8.7 can't ricochet through a neck. Whatever the thing, like when people say that, I'm like, well, okay, I don't know, maybe I'm not a gun guy. Like, sure, okay, fine. The bullet would have blown his head clean off. Maybe, I don't know. That's kind of like compelling, I guess. But now we're saying how does a person get on the roof of a building? I feel like there's probably ways to get on the roof. I don't feel, you know, that can't be that hard, can it? Yeah, 30-06 can't melt steel beams.
America will never become a great country on its own because Esav.
He says like ASO, but it sounds like Asov. Esau's days are numbered. What is it? Does anybody know what he's saying? Do we have any Jew experts in the chat? Because the captioning might not be correct. Esau? Oh. Esau is the elder son of Isaac. He's mentioned in the book of Genesis. The story of Jacob and Esau reflects the historical relationship between Israel and Edom. What does it mean? Son of Esau. Is that the Goys?
His days are numbered. All our elite institutions and centers of power and influence are rotten through and through. The majority of Americans under 30 who are college educated and who are the future leaders of America support the...
So what is Jacob? Jacob is the Jews and Goys, or Esau is the Goys? Is that real? Is that what people think? Esau, Edom is referring to Rome, modern day America. There are different transliterations. Edomites are Jews. What's that? There's that funny Reddit post.
The gun. He can get on the roof. We have not established how a lone gunman got a long rifle on the roof past a number of cameras.
I think he had it in his pants, didn't he? It was like disassembled in his pants, and that's why he was walking funny. No, I don't know. You know, the trial will happen. We'll see what they say in the trial. I welcome skepticism. I welcome inquiry. I welcome people to look at what they're saying and decide if it's bullshit or not. But I'm just kind of like, at this point, may as well wait for the trial is all I'm saying. Because that's when the evidence will be presented in its most fullness. There's that Reddit post where the dad's like, my son keeps calling me an Edomite or something like that.
The Orthodoxer sent $5 LP. I have relapsed.
Oh,
I was at GameStop selling my Metal Gear collection when the most beautiful caramel cutie at the counter smiled at me. Should I? What would you do? Can I call in? Will chat approve?
That's the real Orthodoxer. Yeah, call in, man. We're going to have to stage an intervention at this point.
Vicious monsters of Hamas rather than the holy and courageous soldiers.
He'll die awaiting trial. I'll tell you what, if that happens, I will join the Schizo Brigade at that point. If Tyler Robinson doesn't make it to trial, that I will take that as proof that Israel killed Charlie Kirk. How's that? How's that for a deal?
Of the IDF. No human being, even Donald Trump, can reverse this. No, the greatness of America does not lie in its own success. America will be great when the Messiah comes, and the leader of this country, on behalf of all the good people in this country.
The dude in Idaho? What dude in Idaho? Tyler Robinson trial. Judge declines to dismiss prosecutors. Denies efforts to restrict media. Judge declines to dismiss prosecutors. What's the plea? Robinson has not yet entered pleas. Okay. So he hasn't even pled not guilty. Okay. He won't be arraigned until after his preliminary hearing, which is May 18.
Malachi 1:2-3, Romans 9:10-13. The Jewish view on this matter.
Thank you. I'm not reading that though. I got too much to get through today.
Humbly present himself to the Jewish Messiah and ask him to accept the United States of America into a new alliance of countries who accept the leadership of the Messiah. A new United Nations will replace the current cesspool that...
Amalek is the descendants of Esau. So Esau and Amalek are the same thing. Okay. I need Corey and or Woe. They're the only people I trust when it comes to any kind of biblical analysis.
Goes by that fraudulent name. A real United Nations, united to serve God, led by...
But I think that's correct. Maybe.
The Messiah and based in Jerusalem, and my feeling is that the United States under President Trump will be the first nation to join.
It doesn't matter if you believe this. What matters is that he believes this, and so do many other Jews.
Should maybe try to set up another AMA with Corey and Woe. That would be fun. I'll wait till I get back from my week off, but I think we're about due for another Stone Choir AMA.
In the Shabbat movement, which is pro-Israel, Zionist.
It's I don't know if it's that unusual when the trial is so big, but maybe it is.
Genocidal, and according to this confidential human source in the Epstein files, it controls the White House. So this war you are witnessing in Iran is not merely the production of AIPAC lobbying or Netanyahu or Epstein blackmail. This is not something Trump has been coerced into doing. It is something that he willingly signed up for because, as we all know,
we already did Corey and Adam Green, and it's quite a popular stream on my channel. It's got about 40,000 views now. But we did that. We ran that.
So Trump is interested in pursuing greatness and legacy. This relationship with his Jewish masters has given him the ability.
Well, no, I understand Jacob and Esau and Jacob was the chosen one in that. But it's kind of a stretch to go from that to like the Goyim or Esau's descendants, like genealogically. You know what I'm saying? But I metaphorically, okay, sure.
To achieve this. By willingly becoming their servant, they have anointed him as the Messiah forerunner, giving rise to the final world order where the Messiah ben David will rule the world from Jerusalem. Without the Shabbat Jews, Trump would not be president. He would not have made it thus far. If he succeeds in Iran on behalf of Israel, he will be remembered as the second greatest figure in Jewish
I think he probably did need the money. I guess I'll allow it.
History, the forerunner who made the Messianic age possible. And this doesn't just please the Jews, it also pleases the Christian Zionists who are interested in an apocalyptic final battle that will bring about Jesus Christ. So when we tell you that this is more than just another bombing of the Middle East, we mean it. The Iran war is literally a battle of biblical proportions. It has geopolitical, religious, and eschatological implications. That's why Muslim scholars all over the region are saying this is a major battle between Islam and its enemies. This is a war meant to trigger the Messianic age and establish Pax Judaica, the new Jewish empire. But what do you think? Let me know down below. I pay special attention to comments coming from my channel members who pay every month.
Okay. Okay. Well, interesting. Charlie Kirk was anti-Semitic. Jews were very angry with him. Who is he texting in these messages? I was looking at this morning. I wasn't sure. So this is Charlie Kirk saying, there are some verses in the Talmud that will blow your mind. And then whoever he's talking to goes, I'm aware of them. The Talmud is not biblical, but it's their rabbinical interpretations of Judaism. Hush. And then that guy says, I did a deep dive 1 week. And then Charlie Kirk says, thought crime. And the other person says, yep. This is Candace. Okay, so this is Candace. Charlie says, listening amazing. Your show rocks, by the way. This is back in 2023, which is quite a while ago. This is like significantly before he was killed. Thank you, the defense on Twitter today. The Jews were very angry at me again today. Go figure. Candace says their expectation is that you defend them, but they are silent if anything happens to Christians. Kirk says it's sick. Candace says, and they expect you to be silent if anything happens to Christians. So horrible. Kirk says, I'm over it. The amount of texts I got again over that tweet was honestly beyond belief. I even tweeted with all the disclaimers. Owen says, it's why I don't use my platform to defend them. When I realized it was one-sided and how vicious they would get if I didn't do their bidding, I was just done with it. They should read How to Win Friends and Influence People. They've pushed so many allies away. Candace Owens released messages between her and Charlie Kirk attacking Ben Shapiro. Charlie was already accusing Ben of dual loyalty. Candace says, can't wait to see you in person and tell you what's going on behind the scenes. I just cannot let what happened fly. I have taken the high road too many times on Ben's public emotions. It's stunning to me that he is 40 and behaves like this. Kirk says, I can't wait to hear he's losing a lot of support. Owens, yeah, unbelievable bad for him from a PR stance. I've expressed that I think he needs to take a week off. I think he's in some sort of psychosis, genuinely. Kirk says he has fewer and fewer allies. Also, I wish he got this worked up about America. Weird. Candace says, the Israel first thing is something I cannot comprehend. AIPAC going after Thomas Massey was a major wake-up call for me. Cannot have foreign interest groups going after our congressmen. And then there's a bunch of like Hebrew down there in a different color, whatever that means. Didn't the wife and daughter
Steve sent $5.
the original?
Hey, speaking of Corey, there's a couple of brothers who have entered the space named Froyax who did a pretty good interview with him recently. They could make good TPR guests. Also, Dead Internet Despot and Rhetorically Defective would be good.
I'm not super familiar with those other, but I think the Frojax guys, yeah, I followed them. I'm open to it. It's just whenever it comes to like when new people like this are on the scene and I'm like, the thing I always have to like know is like they're not going to get me banned or demonetized. You know what I mean? I've seen some of these guys as TikToks though. I like what I see. All right. Anyway, Brett Weinstein is also posting Charlie Kirk messages. He says on June 18th, so this would be 2025, presumably, I had a text exchange with Charlie Kirk. He said he was spending 2 full days at the White House trying to persuade President Trump not to initiate a war with Iran. Given that Charlie was close with the president and that he represented a large constituency essential to Trump, and given that many proponents of the war with Iran saw a U.S. attack as urgently necessary to the survival of Israel, it is reasonable to wonder if his refusal to back down from his steadfast opposition somehow resulted in his murder. A good investigation could have settled the matter. What we got only increases the reason for concern. Asking the question may be unforgivable, but it is in no way unreasonable. Charlie was in a strong position to keep us from doing what we have done now, and the timing of his death removed him from the equation and likely changed the course of history, as Charlie himself worried it might. So this is Charlie Kirk texting Brett Weinstein. Brett says, So Charlie had tweeted out, the proponents for regime change have pivoted the last 24 hours. They know they are losing and their position is indefensible and unpopular. Keep the pressure on. Weinstein says, right there with you, Charlie, we have to shut these maniacs down. Not only is the Republic depending on it, but the citizens of Israel are too. Kirk says, thank you. I totally agree. Then Weinstein says, and by the way, I think the president needs us to keep the pressure on. The neocons are very vocal and admittedly powerful, but the public does not want war, especially not to be dragged into one by a belligerent Israeli regime. Kirk says, I know, we need to be better. I have a theory on this, which is the power of dissident media is very good retroactively at uncovering injustice or scandal. COVID, Ukraine, border. We are not good at driving real-time mass public opinion yet. The neocons are. I'm doing all I can, truly. I was in White House all day fighting for America. Same tomorrow. Okay. So Charlie was in the White House and then they killed him. By the way, not for nothing, but, you know, somebody asked me which of these conspiracy theories I found I would be the least surprised by if it was true. And I said Israel killing Charlie Kirk would be the least surprising one. And part of the reason of that is because Kash Patel, they shut down the international
Donald
angle in their
Dictator sent
investigation.
$5 on Rumble. Here's a good example of the twisted theology that happens when Christians worship Jews and take their money.
Let's see. Oh, that's on Rumble. I was looking on Entropy.
The Orthodox are sent $3 LMAO. I'm 12 minutes behind. Don't worry, LP. I won't commit racial suicide. Operation Slavic Princess is still in go as of now.
Based. Thank you. Godspeed.
I'm delighted to present my latest book, In Defense of Israel. This book will expose the sins of the fathers and the vicious abuse of the Jewish people. In Defense of Israel will...
Man, I just had a flashback to some Jew wrote a book like this and he emailed me and he wanted to do a stream and talking about it. I don't think I have that email anymore.
Shape Christian theology. It scripturally proves that the Jewish people as a whole did not reject Jesus as Messiah. It will also prove that Jesus did not come to earth to be...
Use the URL harvester. Hey, nigga, can you just make the song player work properly? Okay, that's all I care. That's literally all I want in life is to use the GIFs widget for everything. That's all I want.
The Messiah. It will prove that there was a Calvary conspiracy between Rome, the high priest, and Herod to execute Jesus.
Which, by the way, has to include 2 tiers. I have to have media super chats and then extended media super chats. It's all I want, please. I have been working on my list, and there are other things on the list, but having the media player work is the only thing I care about.
As an insurrectionist too dangerous to live. Since Jesus refused by word and deed to claim to be the Messiah, how can the Jews be blamed?
Okay, I get it. I get it. Yes. It's the same as there's that Cruz. What's Senator Cruz? What's his name? Ted. In YCSP last night doing the same kind of thing. Jews didn't kill Jesus. I did. So this is weird, right? Kash Patel shuts down Charlie Kirk foreign intelligence probe, an explosive feud with Trump's counter-terror chief, Tulsi Gabbard. Is this Joe Kent here? Netanyahu declares that the Iran war is not only turning Israel into a regional superpower, but into a global superpower. So, I mean, this is what Fuentes has been saying for the whole time of why they want the war to happen, because Iran is the only like neighbor or country in the Middle East close to Israel that can balance the scales in any kind of meaningful way. So once Iran is crippled and decapitated and out of the picture, that means that Israel can start to actually just expand its borders and start annexing territory around it because no one can stop them.
We are in historic days, days that will be written in the annals of Israel. In Operation Roaring Lion, our roar is growing and intensifying. We are pummeling the Islamic regime in Tehran. We are pummeling its emissaries, Hezbollah in Lebanon. There's unprecedented coordination between Israel and the U.S. and achieved substantial achievements that are changing the reality in the West Bank, in the Middle East and beyond. These achievements are increasing the status of Israel as a superpower more than ever. Through our power in opposition to the power of our enemies, this is what is ensuring our survival. Our threats.
But this is like the clip where you're supposed to look at his hand, by the way, and conclude that this is AI. Because his hand looks funny.
Our survival. Our threats come and go, but when we become a regional superpower, and in many respects a global superpower, we have the power to push away threats and ensure our future. In 1993, I published an article in one of the newspapers in which I wrote, the biggest threat to the state of Israel is not in Arab states, but it is in Iran.
So there you go. Everything Nick has been saying, just straight from the horse's mouth. And also people, though, were saying that video is, menorah. I said octopus. Same thing. It's all the same symbology. That Netanyahu is dead. And then they posted this video of, this is U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent was abruptly pulled away from a live interview after being told the president wants you right away, and after returning, his voice was noticeably shaken. This has 20 million impressions.
I listened to you on the...
The president wants you... Sorry, the president wants you right away.
Oh, okay. Okay. No problem at all. See you shortly, Mr. Secretary.
You can work that in.
Mr. Secretary, I have to say...
So pulled away at 10:30 a.m., comes back 90 minutes later.
It's a first, I'm sure, a last as well, that an interviewee's been pulled away to go to the Situation Room. How was the president? Was he stressed?
No, the president is in great spirits. The Iranian mission is proceeding well ahead of schedule, and I have to tell you, Wolf, that I've a teenager who's considering military service, and I could give this team my highest compliment, from President Trump to the head of the Joint Chiefs to the Secretary of War. I would say that I would trust my child's life in their hands.
So he's kind of he stutters a bit, but does he, is that abnormal, or is that just how he talks? I've said this before about the people who analyze body language and shit like that on YouTube, is you have to establish a baseline before you start to say, look at how shaken he is.
Good morning, Becky. Thank you very much. That is right. We are here in Paris at the OECD headquarters with the Treasury Secretary.
Each other. We will see whether the visit takes place as scheduled. But what I do want to parse, and there's a false narrative out there, that if the meetings are delayed, it wouldn't be delayed because the president's demanded that China police the Straits of Hormuz. It would be
because there was a report out to that effect this morning.
That's completely false. So if the meeting for some reason is rescheduled, it would be rescheduled because of logistics. The president wants to remain in D.C. to coordinate the war effort, and that traveling abroad at a time like this may not be optimal.
He's not stuttering quite as much, but if I just showed you this same video, was like, look at how shaken he is, like, and you wanted to believe it, you likely would. Anyway, I don't know, man. I don't think Netanyahu's dead. Bro looks more nervous than he was waiting for his HIV test. He talks like that all the time with weird, awkward pauses. He immediately launched into a defense of the Iranian war effort, even as far as saying he would allow his teenage son to join. That's true. He didn't have to do that. Who is Scott Besson's teenager and what age? He's married to a dude? Married to John Freeman. They have 2 children, Cole and Caroline, who were born by... Dude, what the fuck? Dude, I can't believe these people are allowed to have real jobs. This is the most distressing thing. This is the most distressing news I've heard all week, or in like the last 7 days. The Secretary of the Treasury is a homo? Does Trump know? Somebody's got to tell Trump right now. Please. If only Charlie Kirk was still here. Yeah, I don't pay that much attention to the Secretary of the Treasury. You cannot stop progress. All right. Anyway, that's why people were saying Netanyahu is dead. And then Israel put out this proof of life video. Yeah, somebody tweet Trump right now. Tell him that the Treasury guy's gay. Dude, how awesome would it be if Trump was like, what the fuck? He's fired. I didn't know. And then BB, he put out this proof of life video after like almost 2 full days of where is BB, and then people are saying that it's AI because his coffee cup is too full. And here you have the slow motion of him picking up the coffee cup, and it's whooshing around there, but it doesn't spill. He takes a huge sip of his coffee and it stays 100% full. Huge sip. Let's see. That it is in all fairness to the schizos, it's a very full cup. That's like if I ordered a cup of coffee, also the most compelling thing is this is at a Jewish coffee shop. You expect me to believe the Jews fill the cup up that full? But if I ordered a cup at a coffee store and they gave it to me that full, I'd be like, yo, what the fuck? I'm gonna burn myself. There's foam on top. So let's see. He takes a big sip, but it's still full.
היית? יפה מאוד. לחיים. משהו של המסר לאנשים שיוצאים ומתאווררים? לצאת להתאוורר, אבל ליד מרחב מוגן.
So there you go. AI, it's artificial intelligence. Bibi Netanyahu is a hologram. The tip jar is empty. That's how you know it's a Jewish shop. But the cup being full is how you know it's AI. No lip mark is left on the foam. So a lip mark in the foam? Also, big sip. Let me see this one more time. Yeah, you know what? It kind of was a big sip. It kind of was a big sip. I don't know, man. Maybe it's AI. Yeah, maybe he wasn't really drinking because the coffee's too hot. I don't know. All I know is where's the lip hole in the foam? Where's the lip indentation in the foam? Haha. And then we have the Erica Kirk conspiracy theory, which she is involved in rape, torture, and sex trafficking. This is from Liz Crokin, who says Erica Kirk is involved in the rape, torture, and trafficking of children. I came to that conclusion based off my own research and before Candace Owens started exposing this. So everyone who is trying to get me to cover up for this can go fuck off. I don't care who you are or what you claim to represent. If you are involved in the rape, torture, and trafficking of children, I will expose you. It's really that simple. This is definitely lawsuit territory, by the way. You're supposed to hedge when you do this stuff. You're supposed to hedge. You're supposed to say, based off of what I've seen, I believe Erica Kirk is involved in the rape. You got to hedge a little bit, Liz. You could get sued. And then Mays asks for the research, and then Liz Crokin posted a screenshot of her Excel spreadsheet that is all blurry. And then people ask Grok to like clean it up, which he did a pretty good job of, our boy Grok. Liberty University, Tyler Boyer attended and graduated. Erica Kirk attended and graduated. K-Bot Phillips. These are all like TP. The problem is I don't know who these bit players are, so I can't pretend to care or like go through this. But there it is. There's the proof. Trafficking, sex abuse. I guess this is the most important column here. N88KG, currently owned by Derek and Shalane Maxfield, and they run Sapria, a child abuse charity. What does that have to do with Tyler Boyer? I don't know if these are meant to be read. Or these don't, they just go down. They don't go across. Okay. Colonel Otto Buscher is accused of running a brothel with Romanian children from 2011 to 15 at a Romanian military base. He worked with Romanian Angels. So Romanian Angels, that's like a orphanage charity that Erica Kirk did like some spokesperson stuff for. Civilian commander stationed at Fort Huachuca, David Fraudsman, charged with running a child sex abuse ring. TPUSA Faith works with Pastor Greg Loney, whose church, Harvest Church, is currently being accused of trafficking children. Being accused, it's not that compelling. I can accuse you of something if I want. George Zinn arrested for having pornographic images of children on his phone. I don't understand how any of this stuff is relevant other than the one that specifically mentions Romanian Angels here. But it is weird. Glenn Beck / Tim Ballard, Operation Underground. Tim Ballard, that's the Sound of Silence guy, right? That movie. I like that she just puts Glenn Beck, Tim Ballard, Operation Underground. Operation Underground. Tim Ballard. Sex trafficking. Tim Ballard is facing multiple lawsuits and allegations of sexual misconduct, coercion. Women accuse Ballard of forcing them into couples ruses. Ballard, whose work inspired the film Sound of Freedom, groomed and coerced them into sexual encounters, including... because they would go... They'd be like, we're going undercover and you have to pretend to be my wife. And then he'd be like, and now to babe, we got to make it look real. Make sure you moan lots and make sure you do butt stuff. It's got to look real. There's microphones. There's a microphone in the room. We need to fuck and make noise. Okay. They're watching us. What does that have to do with anything though? You know what I mean? Like she just puts that in the column. Glenn Beck / Tim Ballard, Operation Underground. Okay. Project Constitution, the smoking gun, leaked DOJ wiretap audio captures Erica Kirk scheduling underage girls for Epstein.
She knows that your mom really takes her cell phone.
Second phone call attempt at 4:26 p.m.
I won't have the cell phone after 4.
I haven't listened to this.
I'm going to his house tomorrow morning, and I'm taking my son. He's gonna set something up so you know.
Well, like, what do you think? Go ahead.
I don't know. I'm gonna talk to him tomorrow morning when I go to his house about it.
How much? Like, would I get paid? 'Cause last time.
Talk to him. I'll talk to him tomorrow, and then I'll bring you in the next day and you can talk to him about it.
How much do you think? Like, I don't know what I want to do, and I just want to get some ideas.
I don't know. You're gonna have to talk to him about it.
So the prostitute is asking about her money. These are the victims, by the way. Like, I'm gonna get paid, right? How much am I gonna get paid? You know? Don't get me wrong. I think prostitution should be illegal, but I think prostitutes should also be charged with crimes. I don't think they should be like considered victims. I think everyone who engages in that should be charged with the crime of prostitution. Soliciting prostitution, selling prostitution, engaging in prostitution, all should be illegal. And porn should be illegal for similar reasons.
I don't really work for him like that. I just bring girls to him and they work for him. So you're going to have to talk to him about it. That's what I'm saying. When you work for him, I'll bring you in and you can ask him before you work. Like, what can I do to make more money?
Yeah, well, like, if I don't like you do it, you get paid more money.
The more you do, the more you get paid.
The more you do, the more you get paid.
I don't know. Talk to him about it.
Want me to bring my sister for you so that you could get paid more or something? Or how much a girl
well, that's what I'm saying. I'm working tomorrow, and me and him are going to put a schedule together for you and your sister. So I'll call you tomorrow when I leave Jeffrey with the schedule.
All right, okay.
Unless they are underaged. Yeah, but, you know, you could still, if they're underage, you could potentially have like some kind of rehab program or something. Some kind of church rehab program. Dude, we didn't go to church yesterday because we went to look at this house, which it's like just a total, we're not buying it. It's a huge risk. There's like a oil tank decommissioned in the ground. That I'm so glad we have Allison's dad, because I don't know anything. He's like, He's like, wow, look at this settlage at the front lawn. He's looking at the front lawn. He's like, there's a lot of settlage. What's the word? Settling? It's like, there's a lot of settling. I'm like, yeah. So you can see the settling. I don't know. I don't know, man. But it's like a huge just liability, and it's a 3-bedroom house. They want $400,000 for it, which might not sound that bad, but it's like such a dump. I think oil, because I think they said it was like oil heated, and so Chris, my father-in-law, he was saying that's like a big liability, because if the oil is like starts leaking or whatever, the government will tell you that you have to like dig it out, and it's very expensive. So I don't know any of this stuff. Anyway, also there's kind of like a back room. It was like a garage, but it wasn't a garage kind of thing. And Allison's like, oh, well, this could be Lyndon's studio, you know? And there's like laundry machines and like the water heater. And like right after they say that, it like it goes, it starts making all this noise. I'm like, fuck no. F no. Yeah, no, we're not buying that.
Pigger_Nussy sent $20 on Rumble. Why are you looking at houses, LP? I already told you. You're gonna move to Florida, buy my neighbor's house, and we're gonna rule the HOA with an iron fist.
Thank you for the $20, Pigger_Nussy. Appreciate that. I really want to move to Idaho, frankly, honestly. There's like, my mother-in-law found a house. It's like a 7-bedroom house. It's like $1.5 million or something. And I was like, oh, can you guys just buy that and we all live in it together? That would be so awesome. Anyway, spoiler alert, it's not Erica Kirk, okay? This got community noted because in the files that it came from, it's a different woman. It's disclaimer, this post is my personal opinion. These guys are so scummy, man. Please downvote this attempt to community note my post. Correction. I would like to issue a correction regarding my previous post. The individual in the recording is actually Haley Robson, as detailed in the Palm Beach Police Department's probable cause affidavit related to the Jeffrey Epstein investigation. So part of the reason this got 11 million views is because Ian Carroll retweeted it as soon as it got tweeted, and it got like 8 million views. Now I went looking this morning, and Ian Carroll has since deleted his quote tweet on this post accusing Erica Kirk of arranging girls for the Epsteins. This guy goes, follow up. The Erica Kirk audio is real, and the context is even more damning than we initially thought. This really reminds me of like the 2020 QAnon era of where people were just tweeting like, General MacArthur is about to storm the Dominion servers in Italy and release the Kraken and all that shit. And I've said this before, but I was like, all of those people getting banned from Twitter was actually good for the right. And if I had power to ban people, I would straight up just ban this guy's account. Maybe like a 6-month suspension, or maybe not. Maybe it doesn't have to be like a permanent ban if you want to like give people, but like somebody like this who just keeps like posting lies and slander to go viral, I would just like, I'd be like, hey, you're suspended for 6 months. Will I be moving in? Well, the house we were looking at, that would have just been for me and me and my nuclear family or whatever. But Currently, we don't know what's happening. We're looking for a house. We don't know what's happening. I could happily spend the rest of my days here in the Hypocrite Coom hovel. If I had to live the rest of my life here on Summit Lake, that wouldn't be the worst thing for me, but Allison wants to move. But the problem with staying here is we want to have more kids and we're out of space. So that's kind of the problem. So I guess when you put it that way. Correction. 3.9K views. Original tweet, 680,000 views. Anyway, so this one also got a correction where he says the Erica Kirk audio is real. Breaking, leaked DOJ audio, the smoking gun, exclusive. Erica Kirk scheduling underage girls for Epstein. Confirmed. I'm working tomorrow, and me and him are going to put a schedule together for you and your sister.
Next,
what is Candace saying in this clip?
It was co-founded by Faith Cates. We told you this yesterday. A dear friend to Jeffrey Epstein. All over the emails, 4,000 plus times. Her offices had a ton of Eastern European models. And like I told you guys, Jeffrey Epstein was around this office a lot. He frequented the office as you would if it was your friends. All of this is a fact. Now, what is also a fact is that some of the employees and some of the people who were associated parties with Next Models remember Erica Francevay at the office taking meetings. Weird, because Erica Kirk, despite her very illustrious, multi-hyphenated career, she's actually never made the claim to have worked for a modeling agency. So what was she doing? That was a question we went out to her with. What
she was a model, though, wasn't she?
At this office. Well, what we can now confirm, and these are eyewitness accounts specifically, that they recall Erica because she was taking meetings at the office, and those offices were pertaining to real estate. Real estate for the models that were coming from Eastern Europe, who were being packed like sardines into apartment buildings. Now, on background, in case you're not familiar with the modeling industry, as I am not, the sources confirm that what is typical in the modeling world was for agencies to find places for girls to stay while they were in New York. They tell me, and I'm going to quote this here, I quote, younger girls, when they first get to New York City, they pack them in like cattle into one apartment, end quote, which makes Erica's role curious because multiple people remember and they say that Erica Francevay was the contact. Specifically, what they recall is she was the contact for a white building on the Upper East Side around 68th Street and 2nd and 3rd Avenue. It's pretty specific. Yeah, that she was the contact. Now, why? What? Erica's the contact. Got these girls coming in. Erica's got these people in, and we've all been trying to figure out what she's doing in real estate. But yeah, that is the memory of the people who were working with and around Next Model Management. Let's begin with an interesting update. So yesterday and the day before, we began breaking the news. The story that in particular, Erica's involvement with Epstein's favorite modeling agency, Faith Cates' Next Modeling Management, a Rothschild spinout. We broke the story that her dealings with them involved real estate in some capacity. Erica Francevay was, as we were told, the point person to the firm when it came to housing young models. More specifically, Erica dealt with apartments in a white building. They had remembered that white building was...
Okay. Well, we don't need the second rundown. Okay, Erica Kirk allegedly involved in real estate at a modeling agency associated with Epstein. Got it. Matt Walsh says, this is a good example of how defamation works. This is the Project Constitution post, which was retweeted, quote tweeted by Ian Carroll. why it's not as simple as just sue them. The person in this recording is absolutely not Erica. It couldn't even be Erica because she was like 16 at the time of this recording. And yet that is one of the funny things about a lot of this Erica Kirk timeline is they're like, look at the orphanage had sexual trafficking allegations back in like 2009 or whatever. And it's like, or not 2000, not like 2001 or 1998 or whatever. And it's like, Erica Kirk's not that old, bro. The person, Erica would have been 16 at the time. This account, amplified by bigger accounts like Ian Carroll, has made this claim recklessly and with malicious disregard for the truth. Can Erica sue over it? Does she have any recourse at all? Sure, she can sue. I hope she does. But in order to win a lawsuit, she'd have to prove that this person posted this nonsense knowing it wasn't true. And then she'd probably have to prove damages. And then she'd have to hope that the broke asshole who posted and amplified it actually have the funds to pay, which they don't. Yeah, including paying for the legal fees, which would be hundreds of thousands of dollars. So this is the problem. And how do I get to Crusaders? It's crusaders.gg. Make sure you follow me on Crusaders. You can sign up through your X account easily if you have a Twitter account. You can just click that thing. But dude, is that Crusaders? Is the guy who runs Crusaders watching though? You guys should really think about getting rid of that follow us on X pop-up. That thing is annoying. every time you click on a different link, follow us on X, and it's like, nigga, I already do. Can you stop bugging me? And then I click OK, and then it's like closing in 5 seconds. It's like, dude, I'm already following. Please leave me alone. I have shaken Dave Riley, aka the Nutter's hand. Dave Riley is the Nutter? Big if true. That would be an absolutely shocking revelation. That would be more shocking than Israel killed Charlie Kirk. Dave Riley exposed as the Nutter. I don't know, man. I met Dave Riley. I shook his hand. He didn't seem like the kind of guy to do that. Anyway, this is a good point because people like to pretend like not getting sued is proof that what you said is true, right? So you look at that Liz Cronkin tweet. Oh, relax, everybody. It's just a joke. Turns out Dave Riley is not really the Nutter. Liz Cronkin says, Erica Kirk like raped girls or whatever it was we just looked at, and you look at that and you're like, wow, crazy how Erica Kirk doesn't sue Liz Cronkin. It must mean Liz Cronkin is right. That's right. But it's like, no, because the problem is you have to prove that they know it isn't true. And all they have to do is prove that they did believe it. So Liz Cronkin is going to go in there and be like, look at my Excel spreadsheet. It says right here, Glenn Beck, Tim Ballard, Operation Underground, Your Honor. So of course I believed Erica Kirk. Look at it. They go in there with their beautiful mind chart and all the like red string connecting everything. And they say, I still believe it because this can't be any other. There's no other explanation for my beautiful mind chart over here. And then they don't lose the
say
lawsuit.
My name 3 times in the mirror, then I come and bust a nut on you.
You can blame New York Times. Yeah, honestly, the standard needs to be lower. The standard needs to be like, if you lie about me, and then maybe you should be given a chance to correct before you just get sued. But if I say, hey, that's not true, take that down, and you don't, then I should get to sue you into oblivion. And it doesn't matter what you believe. You also have to prove damages, so it's just like not worth it. It's hundreds of thousands of dollars. You got to take emails and phone calls with lawyers and send stuff to lawyers. It's just not really worth it most of the time. The reason people do end up suing is because there's like serious personal animosity. You know what I'm saying? Like the reason you put yourself through the bullshit of suing somebody is because you've decided it's worth it in order to destroy the person. Like, and that's like what the Macrons are doing to Candace Owens, by the way. So just some food for thought. Somebody was saying, like, because we were talking about Milo Yiannopoulos, who DM'd me the other day, by the way, but I won't get into it. But it was just, I don't know. It was almost like an olive branch kind of thing. But somebody was saying, because we were talking about Milo and how he likes to make all these claims, and somebody was like, well, Milo's never been sued. By the way, I totally forgot to circle back on this, even though I said I would. But did Milo ever publish the list of people he claimed he had proof of that were paid to call Candace Owens a demon? Remember that? Of course he didn't. He just let other people make the accusations, and then that was it. Demon. I've seen, this is back on March 8th. I've seen 2,500 posts calling Candace evil, demon, a devil. I've seen maybe 5 serious claims. So back in February, this is in February 24, did you take money to call Candace Owens a demon on X? Let me rephrase. I got my hands on the list. Fess up now, or I'll name you later this week. So spoiler alert, he didn't. He didn't name. Right. So that's from there to there. So, if you want to know why I'm skeptical of Milo, it's because he's always promising these receipts that weirdly never materialize. But people say, well, no one's ever sued him. It's like, yeah, it's not really worth it. It's just not worth it. This is the actual woman in the recording who was hiring girls for Epstein, Haley Robson. Elijah says, replying to Matt Walsh, I was a victim of massive defamation and you covered it on your show without ever reaching out to me, even though we know each other, we've been on air together, and I have open DMs. Funny, Erica is the exception, but none of you called me before judging. Yeah, well, whatever. I'm not going to rehash the Elijah thing, but the Cole's Notes version is that they're like the receipts for that he cheated on his wife and his wife left him is all there. So that's not defamation. The defamation is like, I don't know, that Sarah Stock had an abortion, which is really more about her than him. I'm guessing. I don't even really know exactly what Elijah is referring to, but anyway, we don't have to rehash all that. 12 o'clock already. Holy smokes. We still got all the Gypsy Crusader stuff to look at. This is why I had to bump the Bronze Age pervert thing. I knew it'd be a big show. Tucker Carlson is saying that that the CIA is trying to put together a criminal case against him.
So the other day I found out that the CIA is preparing some kind of criminal referral against me, a crime report to the Department of Justice on the basis of a supposed crime.
I personally don't like Matt Walsh. Yeah, okay. That's fine.
Committed. What's that crime?
Matt Walsh is my favorite Daily Wire guy. That's one of the nicest things I can say about him. I'd like him even more if he left the Daily Wire.
Crime. Well, talking to people in Iran before the war. They read my texts. So the crime under consideration apparently would be the Foreign Agent Act or something like that, acting as an agent of a foreign power. And I don't expect this to go anywhere. I'm not too worried about an actual criminal case against me for a bunch of reasons. One, I'm not an agent of a foreign power. Unlike a lot of people commenting on U.S. politics and global affairs, I have only one loyalty, and that's the United States, and have never acted against it. Its interests are the only interests I care about because I'm from here and I have a lot of kids.
It's a pretty good defense, to be honest. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this. We gotta move through here, but there was another tweet I looked at. I don't have it pulled up, but a guy was explaining kind of what the case is potentially probably about, which is that Tucker Carlson has like contacts in Iran who he was talking to get scoops and news. And they believe, and this person who wrote this tweet, I forget what his name is, but he said he thinks that the Trump admin, or maybe even Trump personally himself, was like feeding fake stories to Tucker Carlson, which then, so that like using Tucker to like spread misinfo basically. But one of the examples they gave of like something fake that Tucker Carlson was spreading was that Tucker said Mossad agents, remember this? He said they got arrested in like Qatar and Saudi Arabia for trying to blow shit up. And he's like, you know, I've confirmed this. And there was like not anywhere else other than coming from Tucker Carlson. And people think that like the Iranians are the ones who told them that, and that actually it was like Iranians who were going to plant bombs in these places. So anyway, it's a lot of he said, she said stuff right now, but this might be a little bit more serious than Tucker's making it out. Lauren Chen says, this is what they do. I wouldn't be surprised if they raid you sooner rather than later. I've been through this, would love to talk to you about it. That would be a good show. He should talk to Lauren Chen about what happened to her. I think, you know, she really got fucked over, and nobody in conservative media has really like given her a big platform to talk about that, how the government just like completely fucked her over. I mean, it was kind of the Canadian government more than anything, but she lost her YouTube channels in the process and everything. You know, and then people are saying that they're doing this to Tucker because they're scared he's going to run for president in 2028, and that if he runs for president, he would win. Maybe, I don't know. Theo Vaughn expresses his disdain for America's allied relationship with Israel through labeling the Israeli regime satanic.
I have spoken about this before, but I do have a lot of uncomfort about America's relationship with Israel, the Israeli political leaders. That's what I mean. I believe that group it just feels like a satanic regime. It doesn't seem, it feels like they just want to cause pain. They just, I mean, they don't even know where all the bodies from Gaza are, and they're already moved on to other places that they are attacking, and that America's associated now with their attacks. And I believe that will come here one day. I don't believe that the Israeli leaders, that they have any intention to stop that. I don't see that they have any care for the American people. It doesn't seem like that. I've never heard that spoken. And I believe that if we don't speak up now, that our children won't have the chance to speak up, either by law or by worse. And I don't understand our government's relationship with Israel's leaders and with Israel's government. I don't understand it. You know, it feels like there's this war machine, and then our soldiers are put into these spaces, and they're just there to serve an America that they believe in. And it's no knock against them or anything like that. It's just, it just feels like it's causing a lot of pain and fear. And yeah, I don't understand I don't understand Trump's relationship. I don't understand our political, like, why we are so beholden to this government, this Israeli government that just seems to be obsessed with control. And it feels like bloodlust, like they just like, it's not enough. Like after what happened in Gaza, I don't see how there could be any other view. They're making laws now.
Couldn't agree more. This is like the most obvious. I mean, and for what it's worth, pretty much the vast majority of Americans who pay attention to geopolitics, which is maybe not the vast majority of Americans, but the people who actually pay attention are all, I think, basically on the same page here, like 90%. They're 90%, and then you have like the Jews and the like hardcore Jewish sellouts like Ted Cruz, but it's a very unpopular war, I think. By the way, I didn't do like war updates, but the big update is that Donald Trump asked other countries to come send their navies so they can like retake the Strait of Hormuz, and basically every country was like, nah, we're good. Maybe the UK is gonna do something. They're like the only country that wasn't, basically like, yeah, we're good. But it's embarrassing. It's got to be embarrassing for Trump and America. He's like, okay, guys, turns out the war's not over and we're having problems and we could really use some help here. And every country is like, no, we're not doing that. So that's where we're at.
Bills being presented where we won't even have a chance to have a voice at some point. There's surveillance infrastructure that's being put into place. There's a lot of things happening right now, and some people are like, well, it's too much for me to get involved in. I understand that. But yeah, I believe that if we don't speak up now, and it may already be too late, but if we don't speak up now, that one day our kids will not be able to. And it's disappointing.
The UK doesn't have an aircraft carrier. Well, they're spending all their money to build houses for Islamic refugees. So,
to me too, that a lot of our religious leaders haven't said anything. I don't understand it, and I think this has been going on for a long time. I do not understand Trump's like infatuation with or like beholding to this government. But they've had, Israeli government's been involved in America for a long time throughout countless political party leaders. So it's nothing new. It just feels very extreme right now, and it feels very scary. That's what it feels like. And I don't understand how our relationship with them is helping America.
God bless Theo Vaughn. You know what I'm saying? He's not the smartest guy, but then again, neither am I. But that's what makes him so relatable. He's like, I don't understand. I don't get it. Why do we always do what the Jews want? Can anybody explain this to me? Which is actually like a really like good strategy, because when they try to explain it, they do a bad job that really doesn't hold water anymore of all this, like, well, it's the only way to have stability in the Middle East. And it's like, I don't know, it seems like if there was no Israel, there'd be a lot more stability in the Middle East, actually. All right. Gypsy Crusader, he had his fight over the weekend. Of course, we streamed it here. It was an awesome stream, really fun stream. There was a little fallout for me, which is I'm banned from party.com. Party.com, bros. I don't feel so good. It's funny. So I don't stream YCSP on Party, so I didn't notice this until this morning when I came to set up my Cope show, and in my chat it said like, you can't live stream sports events and come to the Discord if you want to file an appeal because your account's banned. And I was like, oh God, do I even care? Like I was only on this website as a meme. But I was like, okay, whatever. I'll go. Yeah, it's an absolutely dead site. You know, they have like featured creators, Suleiman Shukiani and like Jack Doherty and Myron Gaines, but nobody actually streams on this website. And these pages don't, like, when you click on these, nothing even comes up. Myron Gaines, 3,000 followers. Oh, he does stream. I'm live 11 hours ago. That's crazy. 12 hours, 17 hours. Okay, so Myron does stream on Party. That's surprising to me. To his 3,000 followers. It was like, come to the Discord and file an appeal or whatever. So I was like, okay. So I go in the Discord and I open the ticket. I'm like, hey, can I get my account back? And the guy's like, you didn't read the terms. The guy, by the way, is this guy, Appleyard GR. He owns the site. He runs the site. And he's the biggest streamer on the site with 35 people currently watching. Totally, completely dead platform. And I open the ticket and he comes and he's like, hey man, what can I help you with? I'm like, you know what? You're the person who posted it.
Sent $3 cube. His whole electric grid went out. I guess it's time to invade the commies.
Wow. Yeah, people have been saying that we're going to invade Cuba or whatever. And Trump just has no chill. He goes, what can I help you? And this is the guy who posted in the chat the link. I'm like, you know, I will say, I'd like my account back. And then he goes, you didn't read the terms of service he posted. I was like, yeah, I didn't know. I was unaware. And then he goes, and you don't read your chat. And I was like, what am I doing here? So I tried to call him a faggot. I typed, are you going to unban me or cry like a faggot? And it didn't go through on Discord. It's like, you know, they have those words blocked in their Discord server. And then I just said, all right, man, have a nice life. And I left the Discord and I closed the chat. Yeah, you need to read the chat. So the reason he says you need to read the chat is because a couple of times while I was live, he hopped into the chat and he was like, hey man, welcome to Party. And then he posts like a couple emoticons. And I guess he's mad that I wasn't like, hey, Balthier GR from Party. What's up, man? Yeah, good to see you. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he can relate to having more than one person in the chat at a time. But, you know, when you actually have an audience, you don't necessarily respond to every person saying hello. So he's the #1 streamer with 35 people watching as he plays like fucking whatever this is. Some RPG. And here's the thing. When you look at other people's, I noticed this morning. This is why I wanted to show you guys because it's kind of funny. So I go to this guy's stream. It doesn't show a view count, right? He's playing like a racing game or GTA or what, he's driving in a real car. I don't know. Interstate Travel Crew. Okay, this might be an actual dashboard cam, actually. So I click on this to go to the stream.
It's a lot. Let's put it that way. It is a lot.
And then when I back out, watch this. And then I go back here, it says 8 watching. It does this every time because there's 0 people watching, but if one person joins, it will count it as 8 so that the one person who's in there will think that there's 7 other people watching so that maybe if they chat, somebody will actually respond. 7 people oh, this one. Okay, well, I just got debunked then because this says 7. If I join in, this guy's playing Warcraft or whatever. Back out of there, and then it shows 14. So every person counts as like 7 to 8 people is the point I'm trying to make. So when the top streamer has 35, it's because there's like 3 or 4 people watching. Right? It's every time. Right? This guy has no view count. Go Gym United. Hop in here.
You know, I looked and look, Mancos has a lot of information.
Back out 3 followers.
And you know,
Back out and then go and now it says, oh, that's his 42. So one more person joined him. So now it says 42 on his. Anyway, it's all fake and like botted as hell. Each person counts as like 6 to 7 people or 6 to 8 people. Yeah. But 7 watching now, from 0 to 7 because I joined for a sec. And by the way, this is a good example of Balthier comes in and he goes, "Hey, hope you have a nice Sunday." Or he posts like emoticons, and he was mad at me for not reacting live on stream and going, "Hey man, what's up?" So I was like, all right, have a nice life. I just don't get, like, if you have a totally dead website, wouldn't you be like, you're the #1 streamer with 5 people watching. You got 5 people and you're the biggest streamer on the platform. Wouldn't you be happy if someone with an actual audience showed up to your site and put you on their you know, your little icon, your little logo is there on my show and people see that and they're like, "Hey, what is that? What's the little confetti logo? What site is that?" Like, but I guess he wanted me to be like, "I'm sorry, man. I'll do better. I'm sorry, Balfi. I'm sorry. Please give me another chance. I'll read the chat more. I'll try to respond more when you say hi." I'm not doing that. I'm the star here. I'm the star of the show. I was like the biggest streamer on Party, not counting Myron Gaines. I was the second biggest streamer on Party after Myron Gaines. Yeah, I know no one cares, but you know what else no one cares about? Do you know what else no one cares about? Literally anything you ever have to say, man. Just think, I was done. If you had waited just 3 more seconds and held your tongue, you wouldn't be banned, but now you're banned. Gypsy Crusader. Okay, so Gypsy has his fight on Saturday with Super Hot Fire. And the press conference was on Friday, and this is where things kicked off and everybody started talking about this because he shows up and he brings a bucket of chicken.
It's done wonders for me. But, you know, just for a peace offering, I brought you something. I brought you food.
Okay. What'd you bring him?
For peace.
Oh, my God.
For me and you, you know what I mean? I think this would be, I know a lot of guys, you know, that are in you guys don't really like me. So I wanted to bring this to show you that I want to be standing in solidarity with the community. Right?
All right.
Hell no, you ain't good. I need that next.
So let me tell you something, brother. Do I got the floor with the chicken? Okay. Go ahead. I have a brother.
I did forget the watermelon. I forgot the watermelon in the car.
That's whack. That's look. I have a brother.
Wait, whack. Why are you saying where's the watermelon?
He gave me permission to do it.
Really?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
He told me to do it. He said it's all right.
Oh, it's streaming? It's not real life? Oh, okay. My bad. I mean to cut you off, Super Hot. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, he acts racist, but he's not. My father has 2 kids the same age, me and my brother, and we're not twins. He had 2 women pregnant at the same time. So my mother hates my father.
What? Dude, So Gypsy Crusader is trolling. He's like, "I brought you some KFC, you know, it's like a racist meme. Sorry, I forgot the watermelon," kind of thing. Very like basic meme. And the guy's like, "My dad cheated on my mom and my mom hates him." He just like offers that up as what? Like that's, you're beating the stereotype with that one. Oh, you're a racist? Well, guess what? My dad was a man whore who had kids with multiple different women, and my mom hates my dad. What was Gypsy supposed to say to that? Like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know you had it so difficult. And one of the you also heard him accuse Gypsy of not being really racist. This is one of these memes. You know, I talked about this a long time ago that because people get their worldview shaped so much by television and Hollywood, and because Hollywood always depicts racists as like the two rednecks from A Time to Kill who like rape and murder the little brown girl, they think in their mind like that's what a racist is. So they can't understand like somebody that is a racist but would like shake your hand or whatever. And so they're like, oh, you're not really racist. You're not like a walking caricature who falls into just a mindless rage the second you see a black person. I had like a video talking about this a long time because like somebody was like, I hope when you're on your deathbed, a black person walks by and says hi. And I joked about, I was like, what does this person think I would care about that? Like I would die seething because a black person said hi to me. And then he just started like freaking out.
Knock me out. Nigga, I was getting a lap dance on this weak ass
all right,
nigga. I was getting a lap dance. I don't even take this nigga seriously.
I know.
And you're talking about, what you say about, wait, hold on. What you say about my frontal lobe?
I said,
you
try
said something
the
about my
impulse
frontal
control.
lobe?
Yes, you lack any.
You said, nigga, you got that from Django, bitch.
You lack it. You lack
You got that from Django. Everybody seen that scene, nigga. You learn how to be racist,
None
nigga.
whatsoever.
You learn how to be racist, nigga. I was born around niggas I don't like.
This scam likely while you up this much?
Nigga, I'll fight both y'all, nigga.
Oh, yeah, we can.
Oh, you learn how to be racist. I was born around niggas. So he was trying to like say that like he's the real racist because he's lived around black people. That's where he was. That's why he brought all that up. Okay, I get it now. He brought up his mom hating his dad because he was trying to like steal racism cred from Gypsy by being like, I hate black people more than you do.
Go right now? Both those right now?
I know he's fake because listen to me. If he was really racist, he'd be a doctor somewhere making kids sick. If he was really racist, he'd be a doctor
making kids sick. I love this. If you were really racist, you would be a doctor somewhere making kids sick. It's like, hey man, do you want olives on your pizza? No, I don't like olives. No, I know you don't. I know you actually don't mind olives because if you didn't like olives, you would be a gardener. You'd be a professional. You'd be infiltrating the olive industry, trying to sabotage the crops. It's like, dude, I just don't like olives, okay? I just don't like black people very much, okay? It's not, I'd have to like devote my life to hurting black people. I would really prefer to just not be around them, actually. That's kind of the racist part.
basketball coach, and he be telling the best black kid that he sucks, crushing his dream. If you was really racist.
That's actually funny. If he was really racist, he'd be a basketball coach telling the best player that he sucks. Dude, that could be like a skit. That could be like an MDE skit. They should take that and run with it. I gotta find some way to keep the black man down. Then it's like a montage of him like training to be a basketball coach and like getting hired at a high school and all this. And then he's like, when the black kid's just like shooting 3-pointers nonstop. And he's like, your form is terrible. You'll never make the NBA.
You really be doing some shit. If you was really racist, you wouldn't share the ring with a black guy. You're a fake as fuck. I'ma dominate you, bitch.
If you were really racist, you wouldn't get in a ring and punch a black guy in the face over and over again.
I don't think any of that even made any sense.
I can't wait. Fuck it.
Like it's hard to reply to such stupidity.
You're not racist, nigga. Real G's moving silence like lasagna. If you was racist, you're saying nigga. Real racists don't say nigga. Real racists hide that nigga.
I don't say that.
Hide that. Nigga, real racists go up to black people and talk to them and act friendly, and behind their back are racist. Nigga, real racists wear a mask. The fact that you're out and about racist, you're not doing a very good job of it, bitch.
Maybe it's just because I'm not afraid of any of you.
All right, shut up, bitch.
Shit. It's as simple as that. I've stand on my beliefs. I always have.
Hey, your mother sucks dicks in hell.
I have plenty of.
Your mother sucks dicks in hell.
People know exactly. People know exactly where I stand.
Triggered.
And I don't hide it. I don't have to hide it. I am what I am, and I believe what I believe.
Then fight me then.
All right, I believe what I believe.
Me too. You ain't scared of a nigga, then fight me.
Who said that?
I said that. K-Mac the Great.
Oh.
Nigga, if you was racist.
K-Mac the Great. Was that the guy who fought one round and then TKO'd himself because he refused to get out of his chair for the second round? I'm not sure. It's hard to keep all these black guys straight. There's so many of them.
You would be a fucking judge and you be giving niggas 20 years for small shit. You don't even know how to be racist,
right
nigga.
Now, I'm in a
you don't even know how what you're doing, nigga.
Right now, I'm in a place that's surrounded by people who hate me. I'm surrounded by people.
He's going full Exorcist. His what was from The Exorcist? His music, his walkout music was The Exorcist music. So there's some kind of bit he's doing, but I don't know what did he say that's from The Exorcist.
People will hate me.
I know niggas got 10 years of weed. Nigga, that's racist.
I'm here.
I know racist.
All right.
You're not one of them, bitch.
I know.
You're not one of them, nigga. You're in the ring with a black dude. Come on, my nigga. They ain't let a black nigga fight for a heavyweight champion for years,
everything
nigga.
except how to
Jack
make another
Johnson, the
meat
man
and be
act,
famous
nigga.
off
A
of
real
the next
racist will
10
never get in the ring
fucking
with a Negro. You ain't shit, nigga. You fake, you say nigga for clout, nigga.
You're fake, you say nigga for clout. Can we just take a minute? Can we take a moment to appreciate the Overton window shift? Because this isn't the first time I've seen this in like the last couple of weeks where they say, this guy's not a real racist. And that's like the insult. The insult is supposed to be, this guy doesn't really. It used to be racism was the insult. It used to be. What is from Chimpin? What is from the Exorcist? Oh, your mother sucks dick in hell. Oh. Okay, that makes sense when she's possessed. And yeah, okay. Got it. Thank you. Yeah, his walkout music was from The Exorcist. The Super Hot Fire Guy's walkout music. Yeah, the way they try to insult you now is they say he's not really racist. This is actually like showing how much we are winning. That they no longer accuse you of being racist. They accuse you of not actually being racist. It was like the James Fishback's opponent was saying that about him or something. Gypsy Crusader tells Aiden Ross about his Hugo Boss retro collection. Right, oh yeah, because Hugo Boss makes the Nazi uniforms.
Yeah, let me tell you, I'm shaking in my Hugo Boss suit.
You are?
Oh yeah. You like Hugo Boss? They made some really cool clothes in the 40s, you know.
Really?
Yeah.
What type of clothes?
Do you have the retro collection?
Say again?
Do you have the Hugo Boss retro collection?
No, he doesn't.
I have a few pieces.
What type of pieces do you have?
I've got the SS officer's hat. I've got the tunic.
Super Hot Fire round 2.
I got the boots.
Super Hot Fire round 2 knockout.
Yeah.
Round 2 knockout. Unlucky. Gypsy is so good. He's so good at the promo. He's so good at like playing his character because he is like playing a character to a degree. It's just not nearly as fake as they think it is. But he's like, he's real, but he's also putting on a show, and he's so good at it. This almost got physical after Aiden picks Super Hot Fire.
What's the prediction for a fight?
I want Super Hot Fire to win.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, because he's black. Yeah, that's what you want. Yeah.
You know, the
Trying
Jews
to ruin the career.
Well, the Jews and black will have to stick.
I know. You guys got to work together always. You guys have been doing that since the Civil Rights Movement.
So that's right.
You guys got to work together always. You've been doing that since the Civil Rights Movement.
So I got Super Hot.
That's when I hit him.
So I got super hot fire beating you, knockout. Second round.
What about super hot fire? Why do you reckon?
Man, Jewish people, black people gotta stick together. It's been like that since the day, forever. Civil rights movement, like you said.
What do you think of his comments, Gypsy Crusader?
I think the guy was asking, what did he mean by that? Hold on.
What do you think of his comments, Gypsy Crusader?
Good red pill opportunity there, but the clip's cut off. So I don't know what he said. Gypsy Crusader's thoughts on when Andrew Tate fought Chase Demure.
But we've seen guys, I guess we'll use Andrew Tate as an example, when he fought Misfits back in December. He's come from like a vast kickboxing background, and then he went in and fought an influencer boxer and then lost. Did you see that fight? Your thoughts on it?
Yes, I did see that fight. And, the problem with the reason that I believe that Andrew lost that fight is because he was fighting a much younger, much bigger, much more active opponent. So you have all of these aspects going against you. Like, yes, your experience will carry you, of course, but when you're fighting a younger, bigger man, I think, how old was that guy that he fought, like 20-something?
Yeah, like early 30 or 28.
Right. And Andrew was 40-something?
Getting on a little bit.
It's
30, about 38, 39.
It's a big difference. The guy that I'm fighting now, he's about my age. I'm taller than him. I weigh more than him. I'm the bigger man. So it's a different feel.
Different comparison.
It's a different comparison the way that I look at it. Andrew Tate, when he took that fight, I give him credit. It was brave to take it, but like if I had been his coach, I would have been like, I don't think this is a good fight for you to come back in, because he's just a lot bigger than you. Yeah, you have experience, but he's young, and fighting at the end of the day is a young man's game. It just is. So if you're fighting somebody who's a similar age and you have some more of physical advantages like I have right now, I think it's a safe fight.
Would you ever fight Andrew Tate?
That would be interesting. For the right amount of money, why not?
That's what every fighter says. The right amount of money, they'll do anything.
Right, for the right amount of money, you never know. But I guess we'll leave it up to the future.
Have you ever spoken to Tate?
No, I've never spoken to him. He has some interesting takes, some things that I do agree on, but there's, I don't really know that much about the guy.
Oh, really?
No, I don't really know. I don't really follow. I'll see clips of him, things like that. I'll listen. I'm like, all right.
He was almost going to get into I don't know, like the girls and stuff like that, but he decided probably better of it. So he was talking about fighting Andrew Tate. Aiden Ross brought this up as well.
Another opponent to be on your mind, who would it be? Maybe Andrew Tate, that'd be interesting.
Or he brought it up, so this was probably afterwards. He's
Andrew Tate
he's like, there's probably a lot of money in an Andrew Tate fight.
Sign the Misfits? Or do you think he'd have an open contract to fight on brand?
Well, he's the CEO, so maybe that's Misfits versus Brandress.
Maybe
Gypsy Crusader can represent Brandress, and you got Tate representing Misfits.
I mean, do you rep me?
No,
we'd be partners.
Would you be happy to be...
So Andrew Tate's the CEO of Misfits Boxing, and Aiden Ross is, and he's saying, so you would rep me in a crossover Brand Risk versus Misfits, and Gypsy's like,
Aiden Ross?
Absolutely not. Why?
Absolutely not.
We'd be partners.
No.
Why?
This is went far enough.
We can team up.
No.
So you never team up with me?
Am I here with you right now?
Yeah.
That's funny. Andrew Tate replied and said, "Let's run it." Although this was just a quote of what Paul said after he won the fight. We'll come back to that. But Andrew Tate replied, he goes, "Let's run it," meaning that maybe he's willing to fight. So I don't know. Maybe I could set up a progress report with Paul and Andrew. Probably not. That'd be cool though. Aiden Ross did not expect Gypsy Crusader to do this on stream.
You're on my setup.
Yeah, I
thought you hijacked me.
Yeah, I don't know. I was waiting to see if you were. Is this live? Can
This
they
is
see
live.
me?
Yeah, let me pull up the chat.
Oh, they can see me.
Yeah. So I'm not too bad, huh? Well, all right, dude. We could be friends, bro. We could be friends, but you.
Yeah, no, I agree, Richard Phillips. There's no point taking shots at somebody randomly in an interview like that.
You know, look.
So this is live right now, then.
Yeah, let me just fix this really quick. Wait.
Do they know that
You're on my setup?
So, I guess that's allowed on Kick.
But Jews are good people, dude. I promise.
No, they're not.
I'm a good person.
Sort of the audio's kind of all over the place volume-wise.
What?
I don't like you. I've never liked you. I hate you.
What?
I can't fucking stand you. I think you're an asshole.
All right.
You know something?
What?
You know what kills me about you?
What?
You did this, right? You threw money at me so that you could hope that some nigger kicks my...
Hey! What the fuck is that?
No, you want... That's the reason you want him to win is not because you're a fan of him or you like fighting.
I like Super Fight.
No, you don't. You want him to win because you want me to go. That's what it is.
Fred, yeah. Oh yeah, all right.
Yeah,
Dude,
I'm tired.
all right, I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah. Do you like me? As a friend?
Pay me?
Yeah, you're gonna get paid. Yeah. You're
No,
gonna,
for what we talking
yeah,
about?
yeah, you're gonna get paid. Yes.
When?
Right outside.
So Aiden Ross paid him extra to come on stream and talk to him on stream like that. And so and that's what he's saying. He's like, yeah, okay, we're done here. Where's my money? Like, am I getting paid? And Aiden's like, yeah, outside you get paid. And by the way, Gypsy did a stream last night, and he said that he got paid all the money that he was owed for everything. Some people were worried like Aiden was going to try to Jew him somehow with a contract that like he's not allowed to say this or do that, but he did get paid everything. It was just funny. Like he comes in, he's like, I don't like you, I hate you, and I'm like, okay, I'm leaving. Where's my money?
Okay, I'm coming, dude. Damn, bro. I had to pay him.
Very nice. My name's Fred. Very nice to meet you all. Wait, we're making this.
Huh?
This is the camera here.
Yeah, I obviously have to pay him to fight. Duh. To fight. Duh.
He does look super Jewish when he's got the kippah on. Paul Miller broke character and shook Super Hot Fire's hand, proving he isn't actually racist. See, again, people just don't understand. I think Gypsy's racist, but he's not that racist. He definitely plays it up. It's not that crazy if you're going to fight a guy to shake his hand first. It's actually like normal sportsmanship.
Last words for one another.
Nah, I'm straight.
You straight? You sure now you're straight? I guess he was talking all that other shit when you were over there, right? When you were with your friend? Well, yeah, we're gonna have some fun tomorrow, aren't we, right? Did you train? Did you train? Did you train?
Tell him, did he train?
It doesn't seem like it.
Listen.
You know, the thing is, because we were on the stream, we were looking at Super Hot Fire's previous fights, and he had a fight 5 months ago, and he had another fight 4 months ago. So he's probably been training just like he's like his life is boxing, it seems like, which is maybe part of the reason he did way better than people were expecting, including me, is it seems like he's basically just been devoting his life to boxing for the last year plus.
Doesn't seem like it.
Listen. One day, you'll be able to tell your kids you fought Super Hot Fire.
Who the fuck is Super Hot Fire? You were a meme 10 fucking years ago. You were nobody then and you're nobody now.
You gonna tell your kids?
You're nobody now.
Okay.
This is gonna be one of the best moments of your life fighting me. Congratulations.
Listen to me, brother. You're gonna lose, but it's okay because I'm like one of the best fighters in the world.
I know.
So don't worry.
You have to live in that delusion, don't you, right? Just to make it through the night.
Gypsy had 3 weeks to train, and Super Hot Fire's been training for like a year plus straight. That could be true. Because like I saw the announcement for this like 2 weeks ago. Was the first I heard of it, and I was like oh man, cool. So I don't know how much time Gypsy actually had. I didn't hear him say that or anything, but it's possible this was set up not that long ago. And so he didn't really have much time to train. And he's not a boxer. He's like a Muay Thai fighter.
Yes, I do.
All right, you keep doing that. You keep doing
All right, thank you guys.
And here's like from the round 3 of the fight. I'm not going to rewatch the whole fight here today, but here's a little sample of the fight.
He's stopping! Keep rolling! Let's go, Super!
You got it!
I think that was like, it looked like an elbow there.
Go, Super! You got it! Super!
Come on, Super. Beat it.
1 minute.
Oh, shit. Beat it. Oh, my God.
That one right there, that looked like almost an elbow.
This is 5 rounds.
Hard to tell.
Oh, my God. This is brutal. Gypsy's hurt. He is fucking Gypsy's hurt.
Whooping his ass. Whooping his ass.
No. Get that nigga. What are you doing? It's a method.
Do this shit for Rodney King. That's what I'm talking
Fuck the
about.
method. They're going to call it.
Get it, Rodney King.
We can't do that.
Get that nigga. Get that nigga. Come on, Super Hot. Get 30 seconds.
He's so tired. He's done.
Do it for your ancestors. Do it for your ancestors. Do it for your ancestors.
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
What's your name, boy? What's your name, boy?
20 seconds.
Oh my God. What a fight.
So that was the end of round 3. Gypsy won the fight. It was a close decision. Here's the winner announcement.
And the winner by split decision.
Super.
Out of the red corner, Gypsy Crusader.
He's done. That's fucking bullshit.
What?
Hey, then don't act. What the fuck?
His ass whooped. Hey, what these judges looking like?
How the fuck did he win?
Bro,
White.
that's why.
That's fucking
Y'all
insane.
just witnessed it.
And
Y'all
Gypsy just left the ring without
and that, I'm gonna be real, Aiden. You gotta look.
without doing a speech, which some people were acting like was kind of a controversy, but it kind of seemed like they were acting like Gypsy didn't get the chance to do a speech, but it seemed like he just left like right away to me, while everybody else was in shock that he won and like scoping and seething that he won. Gypsy was just like, I need to go lie down. I don't think Gypsy was thinking about his speech at all.
That's not
right
the movie. That's the
there.
commission.
Hell no.
The state of Florida, the same ones that do the UFC fights and all the boxing events.
But Aiden Ross immediately goes into like cope mode and like defense mode of like, it's not me, guys. It's not my fault. It's the commission.
Hell no.
The state of Florida, the same ones that do the UFC fights and all the boxing events.
Nigga said, do I want to interview him?
Let him know
No.
that
The
you
fuck?
ain't.
Here you have some reactions from the black audience as it was announced that Gypsy won the fight.
Yo, delete the video. Everybody. What a takedown. This is not professional. He slammed him like 7 times. No.
He slammed him like 7 times. If you watch the full fight, Super Hot Fire fell down like 5 times, but I don't think any of them counted as knockdowns because it was like Gypsy like pushed him or he tripped or whatever. There was one where Gypsy threw him and they said that it would like count as like a point against Gypsy. I don't know boxing well enough to know, but like Super Hot Fire like jumped on him and Gypsy just like body slammed him back down on the ground. And it's like, you know, in a street fight, it would have been way shorter. Put it that way.
I'm hot.
Just with the hell no. If he says a hard R.
Oh, so he was saying something to the camera there right before he did his Roman salute, but there's like no audio on him. And then if you look here, you see Gypsy do the Roman, the Bellamy, the old Bellamy.
Hell no! Hell no! No!
Dude, imagine betting against Gypsy in this. That's crazy. Okay, hold on. We're not supposed to get to this yet. They're supposed to do the, let me move this down. right, so after the fight, Super Hot Fire tells Neon that Gypsy called
Sally
him the
M
hard
said
R.
$3. I find it odd that Aiden would push the Jewish ex-Negro alliance similar to Robert Kraft's anti-Semitism Super Bullet.
It's not that weird. I mean, John Leibowitz did the same thing in his comedy sketch. Jews like to pretend like they're part of the oppressed class. That's why I think that's why they do it. They want to, you know, that's why they push the Holocaust and all that stuff so much. They want to be the underdog, the oppressed, and, you know, the one that you empathize with, and keep the white man as the big bad guy. That's why they frame stuff like that. Now, if you're a normal, not brainwashed white person, you hear that and you just think, oh, so you're the enemy, basically.
Hey, good seeing you again, nigga.
Brother.
Yeah.
You did a great job.
Bro.
Give me a fucking hug.
I beat the shit out of
Yo,
that
give me a
nigga,
fucking hug, bro.
He was in the back, bro. He was in the back like, he was holding his ribs and pain and shit.
Oh my god.
He was moaning and groaning.
Look, let me do an
bro. I feel like
inspection.
I've been playing Fight Night.
Let me do an inspection.
Bro, I'm fine.
Oh, okay.
Bro, the smell is wild.
A shower would be great.
Yeah.
But it's okay. No rush.
Bro,
Just
his
talk.
face was fucked up. His body was fucked up. Bro, I'm fine. I feel like
You
I
look
just
good. Wait. Look at the camera real quick. You didn't get touched.
Bro, I'm pretty boy hot fire.
Bro, you got to smoke?
Every time I've been in a fight, I look like I haven't been in a fight.
But then wait,
that nigga look like he been in a car accident. Have you seen him? He looks crazy.
Where is he?
as shit.
Should I go?
Nah, he ran out, he gone. I made fun of him because he was moaning and groaning. And we got like little lockers and shit. And I was like, yeah, you in pain? That's what I thought. And he's like, yeah. I was like,
Coach, you a hard R?
Oh, yeah, of course he does. But I'm not on a meal team. Like, I don't give a fuck.
Wow. Well, you did your thing, brother.
Yeah,
Much
yeah,
love.
yeah.
Much love, brother.
Oh, hell no.
Charleston White crashes the stream to say that Gypsy won. Charleston White was the only black guy supporting Gypsy, and there was I don't have it, but there was a funny like screen grab at the end of the fight. Charleston White like has his hands up in the air, and everybody else on the panel is like dejected. It's really, I wish I had it. I didn't see it this morning when I was looking. It was really funny.
Fuck it. Say, I had the nigga losing. I had the white man winning. I had the white man winning. Say, listen, I tell you, I don't give a damn what y'all feel about the judges. The white boy beat the nigga. Bottom line.
No, he didn't, Charleston.
Yeah, he did. The nigga lost.
No, it's true. On points,
yeah.
he lost. He gave it, but towards the end of the fight, he looked like he was on top.
Yeah.
So that's why people are going to assume that he was winning, but like off point from the whole fight, he was throwing loads of shots.
The white man won.
Yeah,
Do you think
yeah.
Gypsy Crusader won?
Oh, yeah, I don't think America had lost the war yet.
Wait, Charleston. What do you
And people started coping on TikTok as well.
Bro, that shit was rigged.
Yeah, Charleston White is funny sometimes. He is when he plays up his Uncle Ruckus or whatever. When he plays up his Uncle Tom bit, it is funny.
Big, bro. Gypsy did not win, bro. Super Hot Fire put belt to that dude. Made him, almost knocked him out twice in the second round. And weaved all his punches, bro. These niggas aren't actual boxers. They don't actually know nothing. They don't know nothing. Oh my gosh. They stole from him. And then who else they stole? But they stole from another dude. I think it was the second fight or the third fight. They keep stealing from the black people, bro. That dude who went against Garcia in there, they stole from him too, bro. Oh my gosh, no way they said Gypsy won. Oh, bro.
Here's a post-fight interview with Super Hot Fire.
Rich Promotions, and who do I have here?
Man, Super Hot Fire, but I'm not a rapper.
All right, well, listen, Super Hot, I have a question, man. What's your thoughts on the judges' decisions today?
It was some bullshit, you feel me? I beat him up, his face is crazy, his body.
He's wearing like his African dashiki thing or whatever, but like that's obviously like clearly intentional. Like I'm repping black people. It's so funny. You can do that. Oh, but I have an SS tattoo and I'm the bad guy. You know, you get to wear your African patterned shirt when you're fighting the white guy, but I have a double lightning bolt tattoo and I'm the bad guy.
He's crazy. He looked like he'd been in a car accident. I'm fine. He was in the back holding his ribs, moaning and groaning in pain. I was piecing his ass up. I was dodging a lot of his punches. He was hitting me with like little pepper shots here and there, but I was hitting him with them Hadoukens. Like I was fucking that boy up, boy. So I mean, I'm fine. I don't even feel like I've been in a fight. I don't look like I've been in a fight or nothing, but he's in pain. He looked like he'd been in a car accident. But you know, he's racist. He's a white supremacist. It was 3 white judges, which is not fair. You know, if it was 3 black judges, they would have gave it to me if I got knocked out. You know what I mean? So they would have been like, "Get up, you won, nigga." So I feel like it should have been a jury of my peers. I feel like it would have been like maybe a white, a Mexican, a black, maybe an Asian. You know what I mean? Those not all white is ridiculous. Come on, like that's ridiculous, player. Like he fighting for white people, I'm fighting for black people. We got all white judges. Come on, man. So as soon as they said split decision, I was trying to leave, and Benedon was like, "No, don't leave. You don't know. I'm like, bitch, this is America. I know what the fuck is going on. The nigga said split decision. I was trying to leave right then because I'm like, oh, we know where this is about to go. But it's all good.
I was nervous. I'm not going to lie. When they said split decision, I was like, fuck.
But, you know, everybody here said I won. Everybody said I put on a great show. Everybody was happy about me. So I'm like, nigga, it's not about these 3 judges. It's about the crowd and everybody at home. You feel me?
I joked about this on the stream, but I was like, man, it would have been a really bad hit to the white supremacist economy if a bunch of our guys bet on Gypsy and then he lost. It'd be like a lot of money sucked out of the movement. So I was like, damn, Gypsy can't lose. I was like a little bit nervous when they said split decision.
Some people can fight right. 2 people can fight right now. We can say red won when blue won, but what we say ain't always what happened. You feel
Understood.
Me? But yeah. So I mean, it happens. I'll be back. And he had like 40 pounds on me too. Let me throw that in there.
Listen. I understand. Listen, it's always good to have you on.
You got a controller?
And we'll see. Yeah, man.
Okay, that's fly.
Yeah, come on. That's how our Branders rock, bro.
Okay, yep.
Was entertaining. I don't know. Boxing is kind of boring because there's not enough knockouts. There's not enough like big, like when a punch really lands and the guy just gets rocked. That's all you want to see. And there was like 12 fights and you saw that like once or twice, you know? I think that's why MMA is like way more popular than boxing now, is because there's too much boxing. It's too easy to like not do anything in boxing, you know? But there was some good moments though. Like I had fun. Don't get me wrong. I did have fun. But there's also like a lot of times where you're like, look at these guys are just standing there looking at each other, especially the fat guys boxing each other. Like they're just like looking at each other, trying to stand up. Well, hold on. Let me do the judges first real quick to debunk this, because you have here the actual score card. And so these are the names of the judges are Mario Perez Jr., Manuel Marquez Jr., and Eliseo Rodriguez. So it seems like we actually had 3 Mexican judges and not 3 white judges. And Perez is the one who gave it to Dwayne Deshaun Stevenson's, aka Super Hot Fire. Here's Gypsy's post-fight interview.
Gypsy, that was an absolute war. Talk us through it if you can.
Well, he had a little more gas than I expected. It was harder to get this body because he's real awkward. But he was a tough fight, but I still came out on top.
Were you a little bit surprised about how much grit he had?
Yeah, absolutely. And it was definitely a good test for me.
Gypsy, you were the villain in the crowd. Did you hear
the stats are all on the scorecards. You can go and look at them if you want.
The booze as you were fighting?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you hate me, but I love it.
You've accepted the villain role.
I'm always everyone's villain.
Gypsy, congratulations on your win. Any names? I know a lot went on right there, but any names?
I want to thank my younger brother and my girl, Harley, who helped me out. My team that came with me. I want to give a big shout out to my sponsor, Duel.com. And check out Joker Coin on Pump TV.
Gypsy he almost looks like a cartoon character, because his upper body is so big and his legs are relatively less big, although his legs are like actually massive, but his upper body is so insanely huge that he kind of looks almost like a cartoon character. You know what I mean? And I do have like some theories about why people are saying he underperformed. He didn't do as good as they thought. What one guy, because I had a viral tweet before the fight from the face-off, and I said, this is going to be a short fight. And somebody replied and he said, Gypsy looks like an alcoholic. You can see it in his face. And people commented a lot on his face being red. And I was like, well, I don't watch like a lot of his, or well, I don't watch his streams. I only like, if I watch him when he's doing like an interview or something like that. But whenever I've watched him, it's he's never come across as drunk to me. But Snackwaffen says he drinks a lot. See, here's what I'm going to say is like, I could see it. He doesn't come across drunk to me when I see him. And he also doesn't come across as like, when he's like in these pre-fight interviews and press conferences, he doesn't come across as like a guy who is on edge because he hasn't drank. But that was like what somebody said, and I kind of thought, oh, maybe that's part of it. Maybe he drinks a bit. And then the other thing I was thinking is human growth hormone. I was thinking maybe, yeah, alcoholics don't seem drunk because they just drink to be normal. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I'm not calling the guy an alcoholic, but that was when I saw that theory out and the guy was saying he's going to gas so fast. The guy who was saying this was saying like, he looks like an alcoholic. He's going to gas super fast. So I wouldn't be so sure. In hindsight, after the fight, it comes across less crazy. And if you're taking like human growth hormone or something like that to get big, that could also explain like why you're kind of slow and your punches aren't as hard as they look like they would be. So those could be factors that contributed to it. Paul says he only drinks on stream and he only streams like 2 to 3 days a week. Well, there you go. His face is huge. Yeah, I mean, it's just like his upper body is so big. It's crazy. So those are, and then also the reason I bring that up too is because right at the start of this interview, this is another one of his post-fight interviews.
Foz sent $5, found out why the camera of that poolside tattoo guy was so based. It was a growiper named Spexo. He posted more videos and explained it on his Telegram. The Jew tried to push him.
Yeah. Thank you for the 5. Yeah, that was a good video. Yeah, he was antagonizing the guy. That was cool. I actually had Spexo blocked, I think, from the wife guy stuff, but I unblocked him after that. Truce, Spexo. At the start of this interview, Gypsy drinks from like what looks like a little hotel alcohol bottle. Watch.
This is Fred Beckman, Fred Dorsey.
I don't know. Maybe he's drinking medicine or something. I don't know.
I'm joined by victorious Gypsy Crusader
See
in the
that?
win tonight over Super Hot Fire. How you feeling?
Is that why he left the ring so fast? He's like, I need a fucking drink. Oh my God.
I feel good. I mean, he was tougher than I thought, but he didn't have the gas.
He deserves a drink. Yeah, you deserve a drink. Don't get me wrong. Hey man, he won. That's what counts. I'm just speculating on why it wasn't like a one-punch fight. But at the end of the day, he won, okay? Honorary white status, still intact, and it's all good.
I didn't have that much more, but I landed the cleaner shots. Like I said, I
think it's niacin.
3 sent $5 on Rumble. Is the tape reel of Gypsy with a black girl? Also, recent chats came out of him talking to minors.
Not familiar at all about a black girl sex tape. The minors thing, I did look at that. There's like that TJ Cod video or whatever his name is, who that guy unironically, I guess, also got caught talking to minors. I don't want to rehash all that, but it's not new. I'll tell you that much. That's old news. All I'll say is I love Gypsy Crusader and I support him. And if he was doing that, he should definitely not do that. Definitely just get married. Just get married and make some babies. But somebody else in the chat said, why is he still out of breath? And like, this is why I was saying, like, because, you know, human growth hormone and steroids and stuff like that, it's bad for your heart. People who do that stuff, who do like roids and that, they die of heart attacks all the time. And it's because it's like, your muscles grow so big and it's like so much weight on your body that like breathing becomes more laborious. So that could be, I'm just speculating. I don't know.
My experience carried me through it.
Were you surprised how tough it was in there tonight?
Not so much. I mean, I knew he had grit. I knew that it would be tough to try to put him down because I haven't been in a while. And we were fighting with such big gloves. And I was making constant adjustments because I come from Muay Thai. And there was so many times I wanted to kick or knee him, but I couldn't.
He fell down quite a few times.
Someone said he might be drinking niacin, and I don't even know what that is. What is niacin? Water-soluble nutrient converting food into energy.
In the fight, multiple occasions. Does that sort of give you the confidence that your fitness was a little bit better than his?
Yeah, he didn't have the legs.
Heart has to pump harder to supply the muscles with more oxygen per pound. Yeah.
Keep himself up. And I used a little bit of Muay Thai in there. A little bit of...
Bodybuilders sleep with CPAP machines like obese people. Yeah. This is the part they don't tell you on the steroids bottle. Everybody wants to be huge, but they don't tell you about the part where you have to sleep with a CPAP machine and you die at 35 from a heart attack.
Off balancing in the clinch. And I knew that he was going to fall down. It takes a lot of energy to get back up. I saw it drain him the first time. Then I was leaning on him. So it was about experience and technique.
I noticed that he constantly went for that right hand.
I will say for the record, he could be totally natty. It's not like his physique is impossible. I'm totally just speculating.
Down to the body. Yeah. The body shot the whole time, multiple occasions, and landing it quite a few times.
It's true. He is already past 35. That is true.
Did the body shots seem to tire you out from super hot fire?
Not really, no. I mean, I walked right through them. I mean, there was not a... Oh, my God. Someone give me my phone. All right, go ahead.
And then going into the final round, your energy, how much did you have left, or you truly spent?
He said he takes enhancements.
Based on my expertise on the subject, that bottle is whipped tequila, probably something cheap like Suarez.
Thank you, Ked's dead.
I was pretty spent, but I knew that as long as I kept my hands up and out-pointed him, which is what I was focusing on doing, touching them, adding up the points, and that's what got me to win.
Were you confident when it went to the 3 rounds that you had done enough to get the decision?
Yes. Yeah, the first round I felt I dominated. The second round I outpointed him. The third round he landed some hard shots at the end, but then after that he was gassed. And then I just tagged him up a little more just to get enough points. He was trying to, his mistake was thinking that he was going to just lay me out. That was his mistake. Every shot that he threw.
They were also, some people in the chat mentioned this, but they wore like really heavy boxing gloves, which makes it, obviously that makes it a lot harder to punch hard. Like a lot of the comments I saw were people being like, why is he so slow? You know? And it's like, well, you're a big guy and your gloves are heavy. That's just what it's going to be. And if you watch the Sam Hyde fight, it's kind of similar.
It was everything he had, and I just walked through it, and that probably demoralized him.
Aiden seems very disappointed how he sounded on commentary.
Yeah.
I think he thought Super Hot Fire won.
Well, what does Aiden know about fighting? Not a thing. So I'm not surprised that's what he thinks. And not only that, you're fighting a crowd. Every time Super landed a shot, there was ooh and ah in the crowd. But when I landed a shot, there was nothing. But the judges are smart enough to see what's landing, what's not. So that's how I won.
A couple more questions and I'll let you go.
Yeah, can we hurry this up?
Yeah, I will. Two more questions. Would you consider a rematch, or would you want to move on to another fight?
I think this might be my last rodeo. I'm too old, and I have other things I need to do, other things that require my attention.
I
got the win here. I'm happy with my performance.
Yes, the day before this, he's like, maybe I'll fight Andrew Tate. And after the fight, he's like, you know what? I think I'm good. But again, if the money's right,
it's
everyone says this after when they're hurting, but you know, take a few weeks to recoup and then get offered a huge payday to go fight Andrew Tate. Who knows?
Time to move on to other things.
10 years out the ring, back in there tonight, and then that was the last hurrah.
That's the last hurrah for me.
Well, thank you for your time. I appreciate it, and well done on the win.
Thank you, Freddie.
Paul tweeted after the fight, Aiden the Jew tried to set up White to lose to a black publicly, but you guys know I would never let that happen. Thank God for Duel, for always believing in me. Monarch stood by me, and I couldn't be more grateful. I did this for my people. I post the Christian emoji and the O/, and I, of course, had to hit that with the retweet. Jake Shields says White Pride. There's some pretty decent memes in here and edits, some good memes and edits.
And the winner by split decision.
Super.
Out of the red corner, Gypsy!
He's always dominating the fight, like got the guy in the corner beating on him.
What? Hey, then don't act. What the fuck?
I mentioned this, but it was like literally White Day. Did you know that? White Day. May 25th. No, it was March. Oh, yeah, right here. March 14th, 2026. White Day. Celebrated annually on March 14th, 1 month after Valentine's, when men give reciprocal gifts to women who gave them gifts on Valentine's Day. Wait, you guys are getting gifts? You guys get gifts on Valentine's Day? So Gypsy Crusader won his boxing match on White Day. Do you guys like Night of the Seven Kingdoms? I like this guy they got to play the Baratheon. He's very charismatic. All right, here it is right here. I could have just kept scrolling. Anyway, some good memes in that.
By split decision.
All right. Aiden Ross apologizes for not interviewing Gypsy Crusader after the fight.
And again, I'm going to sit here and say it again. I full on apologize for this because it's just not professional. It's not professional at all. I apologize for the commentary. I apologize to Gypsy privately, and I'm apologizing publicly again. And I'm sorry because that is not right. I don't have to like the guy. He doesn't have to like me, but everyone's deserved the same amount of respect and energy. Okay? And I take full accountability for that.
Yeah, I think it's possible that as a boxing promoter, you sort of have to maintain a degree of neutrality. If you're the promoter and you start freaking out that somebody won their fight, it's kind of sus. You know, with all the gambling involved, it's kind of coming across like maybe you paid him to lose, or you're just shocked, or you paid the judges or something. It's just it's a bad look when you're the promoter and you start freaking out because one boxer won a match against another one.
That's on me. I spoke with my dad. My dad even said, Aiden, I know he's got, he said whatever he said and he's done whatever he's done, but you run a company here and you allowed him already on the platform. So if you have a problem with him on the platform, then why are you having him fight? And my dad put it in my head, and my dad was just explaining to me how it's stupid to show biasness and act professional. And my dad's correct. My dad's right. I took full accountability for that, and he is 100% correct. Everybody's owed an interview if they win, and everybody is owed the respect from the commentary, and I failed that, and I fucked up, and I had to, you know what, I've already apologized to him privately. I already said it publicly about 30 minutes ago. But looking back at this, it actually makes me mad at myself and ashamed of myself. So I take full accountability for that. I'm sorry to everybody that was watching, because that's not right.
Cat Respecter did work for a boxing outfit. Wow, Cat Respecter lore.
Not right at all. I don't care if you had Gypsy or you had Super Hot. It's not right for me to talk like that. He won. He deserves an interview.
Yeah, I did see in the video he was talking into the camera, and there was no audio on that one clip we looked at. Although that was like a different stream or something. I don't know. Okay, but yeah, maybe it was intentional. Maybe it was intentional to not let him talk.
He deserves the respect that every winner has, and once they win a fight, and that's that. And there's no other ways to explain it or go around it. Daily, I fight for freedom of expression, freedom of speech, and all this stuff. And if it was a problem for people to have Gypsy on this card, then we gotta address that situation earlier, not during the fight. Now, for everyone on Ben's ass, don't put it on Ben. Put it on me. It's not on Ben's. It's not on Ben completely. It's on.
I don't know who Ben is. He was the guy in the ring, maybe, who was supposed to do the interview. Reveals his dad was mad at him for being mad when Gypsy won. So Paul says, we know N's and K's will always George Floyd and chimp out when they don't get their way. They can't play fair. I don't hold it against you. The Jews of the casino world are trying to drag you down with them. Aryan owns 0% edge. Duel stands for the purest form. The Aryan betting platform, duel.com, man. I don't like gambling, but it is funny. It is funny when you're like, this is the white man's gambling system. Anyway, I'm not going to judge. It is what it is. Congratulations to Paul on his big win, and that was really awesome, and I had a blast watching that on Saturday with you guys. Quick touch on clavicular, and then I'm out of here. When we were watching the stream, they went and talked to Clav as part of on the official Aiden Ross stream briefly, and he was very low energy. I commented on it. If you were there, I was like, wow, Clav was really not in the right, this is a rowdy hype event. Why was he such a downer? And somebody that said he was supposed to even commentate one of the fights, but that never happened. But so we have his ex-girlfriend, Alice Rosenblum, who is, yes, she is Jewish, by the way. She walked past him and totally cold shouldered him and hurt his feelings.
Okay, I see how it is. I see how it is.
Clav is just a sensitive young man. So he explained here that he left at that point because he couldn't stand seeing his ex-girlfriend with another guy.
We're looking to roll now.
Right now?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
See, we're leaving now. We're looking to roll now.
Is it about to come on?
You're about to miss some dope fights.
Yeah, I know. I appreciate you guys having us. Thank you so much. Great event as always, guys. All right, thank you so much. Take care, guys. All right. Sorry about that.
So he turned off his mic, but you could still make it out, I guess. Alice cheated on me with some guy they broke up, but that's how it feels. I know how that feels. Is Clav supposed to be pro-white? Well, Clav, so when they interviewed him, I don't have this clip, but it was very disappointing. They asked him who did he want to win, or who did he think was gonna win between Gypsy and Super Hot Fire. He's like, oh, I don't know. Are you kidding me, man? L, come on. Are you kidding? You can't. First of all, just by looking at them, it's obvious Gypsy is going to win. But also, you're white, Clav. What are you doing?
It's all right, dude. Don't stress. You're good.
Thank you. We're looking at.
So the sensitive young man was hurt because his girlfriend is with another guy, and then he came back like drunk as fuck.
Yeah, Dean hating on you. Yeah, Dean hating on you. Yeah, he out here looking like bro, you like a fucking fire. Hey, I said the hairline though. You ball of shit. I know. I said the hairline though.
Nigga like got drunk and came back.
No, you gotta tell everybody what the fuck. You gotta tell everybody. Everybody didn't know that.
Yeah, they already know.
Everybody didn't know that. Man, every time. Man. Everybody didn't know that.
What?
Everybody didn't know. You didn't have to tell everybody. Everybody didn't know that.
Oh,
everybody didn't know that.
I didn't know it. No one told me that.
That's the tattoo. Everybody didn't know that.
Wait, what? Really?
Yeah. Everybody didn't know that.
I didn't. No one told me that. No one told me that. Yeah. Oh, yeah, my bad.
What's up, chat? What's going on?
You say something? Oh, okay. Rampage Jackson, I saw a couple clips of him freaking out, and I thought like he's like got a really short temper, but I'm starting to think that's just like his shtick is like giving everybody a hard time and hassling them all the time. I just remembered though, there was another funny one that I didn't have pulled up. Nigga Yacht. Where's the Nigga Yacht clip? Oh, it's not. Clav was, here we go. Clav was talking to Rampage Jackson, and Rampage Jackson said he was on a mega yacht, and Clav was like, "Did you say nigga yacht?"
I'm coming off a fucking 5 days vacation. I was on a mega yacht, brother.
You said a nigga yacht? What?
A mega yacht.
Oh.
A mega yacht.
I was gonna say.
You was on the nigga yacht? Shit.
I'm coming off a fucking 5 days vacation. I was on a mega yacht, brother.
You said a nigga yacht? What?
A mega yacht.
Oh.
A mega.
Shit, you saw the nigga yacht? All right, guys, that's it for me today. Thanks for watching. Thanks again to everybody who watched the stream on Saturday. It was really a lot of fun. Shout out to Paul Miller, Gypsy Crusader. Congratulations on the big win and for repping the white man. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. I'll be playing some Resident Evil later tonight if you want to check that out. And I'll be back tomorrow morning with another show to talk about Bronze Age Pervert and his suspicious crusade against Rupert Lowe. Catch you on the flip side. Peace out.